I only done one test, but no fever. It's just my nose running and my voice.
So the crazy thing is I'm coming off it because I had it the entire time I was there. Right?
Okay, maybe I will get it then. Or
no, I didn't have COVID.
positive.
No, I had a cold. My wife gave me that cold.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm sure someone gave. I always assume I would get caught every time now because I've been so isolated before. The first years I went to Gen Con, I never got it because I was so used to being around people. Now I'm sitting at home and not, so my general immune system is bad, so I need to be out socializing more between conventions. That's the problem.
Yes, we all do. I agree. So.
But this isn't anywhere near as bad as it was last year. It was much worse.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yep.
Button. Just making sure everything's working here.
Yep. That was great that you got Roger E. Moore. He reached out to me too and said he was so sorry that he had to leave early and stuff. So that was good.
We started a few minutes early just so we could catch Blue Box's raid in. Well, that's the theory. So, I think it's a good theory. Yeah. Oh, I'm okay. I'm like this time last year after coming off GaryCon, both Anna and I were really ill. And it looks like a lot of people have gotten COVID from there. I know Rob Phantom has it.
Okay, well then
I'm coming off. I'm actually feeling better and better every day.
Oh yeah, I feel better today than I did yesterday, so I'm good too.
Rest.
And it wasn't that bad. It was only on the way home that I started to feel. Well, on Sunday I didn't feel too well, but nothing serious. Last year was way worse.
There's no time to rest right now, Joe. I got my annual review of my boss tomorrow morning for my real job. There's no time. Rest. I was just gonna quote one of the greatest movies of all time from one of the greatest actors of all time. And that would be Sam Elliott in Roadhouse. I think, and I'm paraphrasing. He says. Something like, honey, I'll get all the rest I need when I'm dead. Now, once again, that was Roadhouse, the original Patrick Swayze. Awesome. What am I doing here? What am I doing? Well, Jay, I think a lot of your posts really helped. I got a lot of GaryCon followers over last week. I start the classic D&D reprint giveaway just so I don't forget. So, I'm gonna wait for Mike. That's cool. That's really cool. That is awesome. All right, so there. Yeah, the dice, Titan dice. Tonight's classic D&D reprint giveaway, but Titan dice is. I have some Titan dice, and I give away like when we do. Well, that's good. History's a great thing to be obsessed about. Absolutely. My voice comes and goes, Anna.
Same
comes
here.
Comes and goes.
Yep, same here. But it's slowly recovering. I couldn't say much on Saturday, Sunday. My voice was terrible. Now it's only bad.
Now it's only bad, yeah.
Yep.
Did you, so wait a minute, Sunday night at GaryCon? I didn't realize it was that bad. I didn't realize your voice was bad.
Oh, my voice was terrible through the con. It started because I was there.
Well, you talked a lot. I mean, you had an extra,
a
lot of extra stuff going on.
Yeah. No.
So.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. So it's really.
Yeah, this was great. This shit was fantastic. We'll talk about it a little bit. I guarantee.
Yeah.
So. Blue Box. Early. I'm early too. I if I hadn't started, I would have caught you. So sit tight, everyone. And we're 15 minutes before we start rolling. We'll come on like 5 minutes, 10 minutes early. All right. So I don't even know which one of these I have. There we go. Good to see you all.
Join the fray.
Gonna have classic D&D reprint giveaway tonight as we're back from Gary Con, so we're gonna have some fun discussion. I almost had a super special guest come on. That person will be coming on at some point Sunday night, by the way, and that's one Luke Gygax will be hopping on the show Sunday night. He was gonna hop on tonight, but his plane got delayed, leaving I guess Chicago for LA. So he would be missing it, but he's gonna to promote his Okarum Shantufi Kickstarter, which starts next Tuesday, I think. So he'll be coming on the show and saying hello while we have Roger Moore on the show Sunday night, and that's gonna be a great show because we're gonna highlight stuff we missed last year with Roger. In particular, Return of the Eight. We didn't even talk about last year with Roger. I can't even believe I forgot. How did I forget that, Anna, last year? I guess we had so much.
I guess the 8 have been killed enough.
Oh my, yeah. We talked about all the stuff like the Elven point of view, the Orcish point of view, stuff he did, and yeah. So, let's see what I have hey Curtis. I have, LJ, I'll send you a synopsis. I have like 50. So when you see them pop up, like watch, here's at least 50 commands. Like this one's good. Shout out Greyhawk Creatives, and then this one. Shout out Lord G. But I'll get you more. Yeah, I'll get you more. Shout out Blue Box RPG, you got it. That's awesome. You have yours too. By the way, LJ, your 2 ads with me in them on Instagram, they were hits over at GaryCon. By the way, it was awesome. Right, Anna?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What am I hitting next? What button do I hit next? I don't remember what freaking button. It's been a week because I haven't had my Stream Deck in a week. Isn't that crazy? I haven't had a Stream Deck in a week. I've just been going without ads, sponsor ads.
I was gone for 10 days. Yeah. Closer to 2 weeks.
So does... And the fangirl one too. Well, Curtis is on. Look, Curtis is on, and he was one of the ones I showed it to there, and he liked it. So, yeah, it's awesome. The fangirl one's hysterical. Because I started off, it's Gary Gygax and Luke Gygax and Todd Stashwick. Then No, Luke and Todd didn't see that. No. No, I'm talking about the one where I get to bash. Finally, someone supports me in bashing Robert Wardall. That made my day. No, yes. Support.
That was the happiest I've seen you.
Yes. Yeah, the music's a bit loud on that one. Thank you.
That was awesome when you showed that. That was hilarious.
Yes, see, Anna saw it.
Oh yeah, I saw it.
Yes, Curtis, bust my balls. My good friend Todd Stashik. Oh, I fell right into that. Oh my gosh, you got me there.
Good to see you made it.
Yeah, you didn't get it, did you? Todd, a lot of people got COVID.
That's to be expected that a lot of people got COVID.
Todd Luke didn't see it. We're gonna come up to it. What's up, Mike?
Hello.
I'm glad you did. I'm feeling way better than I was. I'm feeling better at home now than I was at the con. Hopefully I know Rob's got it. Rob Phantom. I don't know who else has it. I saw a lot of the actor community people. The actor community people were got it.
Uh-oh.
Yep. I can't say 100% who that is, but there's a lot of them. It's all over Twitter.
There were lots of several people from the acting community there. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of Twitter posts about getting it. I think Alyssa got it too.
Uh-oh.
You can check with her, Anna, after but I'm almost positive that she got it. All right, here we go. We're cutting a couple live. So. All right, well, at least we had a pre-prep discussion point for tonight, right? Ready to rock and roll. Tonight's topic, from the Gnarley to the Swiss forests, as we continue. I consider this a wheelhouse discussion for me. So,
yeah,
which means I gotta talk.
That's good. I'm having some milk here to soothe my my throat a little bit.
Yes, lots of detail coming. Hopefully, as long as my voice holds up.
Yeah. So are you, Mike? Are you got some concrete, COVID, or any worse?
I never get concrete.
Okay, good. Yeah, I never got concrete the first few years because I had good immune system. Now I don't have that anymore. So
good to see Arethix from Sweden. I hope you're doing well. So you can hear my voice is a little froggy, but man, I feel
mine is terrible. You join the club. We're terrible. So
yeah.
Hey,
so
Arethix.
I'm Jake Lucasamba, back from GaryCon and feeling way better than I did at GaryCon. I'll tell you a quick story afterwards.
But you were worse the first day we saw you. At 6 hours into the convention, you looked...
So, someone in this household, I won't say who, had a head cold 3 days before con.
Might be the one I have now. Yeah.
Con started, and I was like, I'm staying away. I'm keeping my distance. And it obviously didn't work. So I got there with a head cold.
Yeah.
And that sucked.
Yeah.
But I got through it. Here comes. I just put that in the Blue Box Raid. So, yes, kumquat juice. There was none to be had in all of Wisconsin, but there was orange juice, and that I used an entire bottle of Zicam. I think that helped too, and other things. But go for it if you have a question. Absolutely. What's up, Rich? So,
no.
I forget what I was going to say. With me is Anna and Mike, and we had a Great Legends and Lore, if you all know. We had a Great Legends and Lore at GaryCon. I thought that went really well. Sitting in the front row of that was Roger E. Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Sat in the front row of the Fantasy Mapping Show, too, for most of it. So much that Roger contacted me yesterday. It had to have been yesterday. And said, it didn't move over there. When can I come back? When can I come on the show? Let's just talk. I said, Roger, all of my Sunday nights are open in April. The 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd. When do you want to come on? He goes, how about this Sunday? I'm like, okay. So we already got a special guest coming off of Gary.
Wow, that was...
So, Did Anna, did you have a good birthday, or were you sick?
Yes, I had a good birthday, apart from one little bit when Josh forced me to work in his basement while the other ones had a party upstairs. But no, that was only a little bit. That was only an hour or two, and it was not on Josh. I wanted to finish up the project I was working on, and people came to Josh's house to, and it was not only myself, but it was kind of a little pre-con get together, and we had Chicago deep dish pizza and stuff like that, and I wanted to wrap it up, so it was not, but we made a joke, and Josh said no one can come down and disturb me while I was wrapping up, so it was kind of funny, but that was, yeah, so it was a great birthday. It was fantastic, and now I will hopefully on on Friday or Saturday, I might celebrate birthday a second time with family here in California, and we might see the D&D movie and stuff. We haven't confirmed anything, so I can say right away that it will probably not be a mapping live stream on Friday, because Linda Booth she's going to watch the D&D movie as well. So we will see.
Hype train. Thank you for the hype train.
Yep.
Hey, it's okay. I haven't seen it yet.
But thank you so much for that question. That it was a great birthday with a lot of role-playing game friends. So it was awesome. Yep.
Mike gave me a present too.
Oh, and the nerdy guy to D&D. Hello, welcome back.
Yeah, good to see you all. Yeah. So
Yep.
I haven't
So
seen
that
the
thing
D&D.
actually made it back home with you?
Yes, it did.
All
Oh,
right.
did any of you guys see the D&D movie during the
yet.
con?
No,
Yeah, me neither. I was.
We didn't
I
have
was
time.
busy
We didn't
and
have
I
any
didn't-
time, Anna. Oh my god.
Yeah, I might have had time, but I didn't figure out how to sign up for it. Everybody was
no.
going, but I didn't know how to do it. And it was funny. I was working a lot in the HQ and stuff, and everybody organized it, and I was like, how the heck do I figure this out? So
Yeah, I
never
didn't see it.
made it. Yep.
My son
So
wants
no-
to see
no
the
spoilers.
Super Mario movie before that, so I gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm
Don't
very
worry.
excited for the interview. I have a couple of engagement like that lined up, and I'm really looking forward to all of them. So yeah. Mhm.
D&D movie spoiler, there's a bard in it.
Yes, that's good. Yeah, and a dragon I've seen.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
Dragon.
and a mimic. Yep, I've seen that too
That's
in the
okay.
trailer. Yep,
It looks
Oh,
like
yeah,
an Alux
Dungeon.
Resilient Sphere too.
yeah.
Yeah, that's funny history. It was nice to meet you. So this is just a quick pick. So here we are playing at the table with 2 drink minimum. So we got the Ed Greenwood, Eric Mengi, Chuck Combo, Andrew Valkoskis, who's the person who has Fate of the Norns, Bill Meinhardt, who will be in the D&D documentary, by the way.
Yep.
Anna.
And me sitting on my hands because it was so damn cold in the room.
Yeah,
So
and
I sat on
myself.
my hands.
And myself there. So there you go. Just
Yep.
showing a couple quick. I don't have a bunch of pictures on my machine yet.
It was a great game. It was
Thank
a
you.
lot. It was hilariously fun. Yep.
I appreciate that. And
Yep.
yeah.
Did you guys actually have a 2-drink minimum at that game?
Yes,
you mean them
literally-
us pounding
literally?
them down? So
we tried really hard to squeeze it in, and we were
thanks, Patrick.
going for it in various forms, and I think we even had some new Bill, who was the newbie in the gang, so to speak, in the party. He's not the newbie to D&D, that's for sure, but he was the newbie in the party, so he had to pay his dues by offering 2 drinks for people. So yep.
Fighter Mage Thief he had. Nathan.
Yeah,
That was an interesting character.
Thank you, random. But I'm back in California, so I closed the door, and it's like cozy 75 degrees in here now, so I can take off my extra. So it's good. Yeah.
So I let anyone who wanted to come in, and that was.
Oh
great.
yeah, it was great to
Yeah,
have
it was a great
some
game.
audience there. That actually helped to make it a little bit more of a show and
I
fun
forgot
stuff.
about that, Curtis. You did, and here I don't have picks from that game because everyone rushed out. But I have a pick from this game when Todd Stashwick crashed the game. There you go, Curtis.
Okay.
There we go. Yep. There's
Yeah,
Curtis
we
and
have-
Brett and Todd.
Mhm. Yep.
And there's
And
Justinius. Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
And then Michael from Warp, who came on the show
Mhm.
Sunday night, sat at the
Yeah.
table a bit.
And who's hiding behind? Is that Lee?
That was Rondo. That's Rondo.
Oh,
right there,
okay.
right?
I'm not sure who that was. Okay. Yep. mhm.
Yeah, and that was the
Awesome.
first day of that was the first game. Yep,
Yeah.
same seat. So.
Mhm.
Even all the rest busting my stones now. Oh my gosh! So I had Ed Greenwood busting my stones about turtles Saturday. Now I had Luke doing it too. So great. Yes.
Yeah.
It was fun. And I'll show one more picture. Because this is me deep in thought with the same damn shirt on in a very important, seminar that we had.
Oh yes, that was a good one.
With Mike with his Colts hat on
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Green Bay country. So there you go.
Yeah.
And that was
Not
doing
afraid.
this. But look at that great shirt Mike has on. There were
Yeah.
a couple of people who had on Virtual
Yeah.
Con shirts.
And Jay, it took you half the seminar to see that Mike.
Yeah, I
had
didn't
one
even
too.
realize it.
that was so
I
funny when
didn't
he
even
pointed it out
realize
that
it.
he had
Yeah.
one too. Yeah.
Yeah. Mike thought he was a Gen Con.
Gen Con.
So that was awesome.
I said I
Hey, John.
missaid several times when I wanted to say Gary Con, I said Gen Con, and I'm really sorry because I
That's
screwed
okay.
that one up several times. Yeah.
Fun. So that's some of the things that happened
Mhm.
there at Gary Con. It was a great time. I also sat in
Yeah.
on Curtis game mastering a Champions game on Saturday night. I was so exhausted. I was literally about to fall asleep at the table. They
Mhm.
invited me to play. I got, guys, I just want to
Yeah.
watch. I had to go in and out and do stuff, and just I literally came in with the huge ice cream cone. I'm just sitting there watching it.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool watching that, though.
Yeah. You even came in on my seminar for a bit.
Yes,
Yep.
I did. Yes,
That
I
was
did.
awesome. Thank you.
I watch a guy say, "I came here just to learn how to make maps. I have no idea what you're talking about."
Yes, it's kind of funny, and in a way, I aimed for it. So half the audience was shell shocked, and the other half were impressed and inspired. So
Well,
to speak.
lesson learned.
Yeah.
You can work on. You can
Mhm.
work on it next year.
I will probably have like an introductory seminar and then one advanced for and then really say it's advanced, so to speak. But I got a lot of good comments from it too, and some people who were like, I don't understand any of this. So yeah. I
That's
just
awesome.
wanted to paint cute little mountains or something, and it was not really about that.
I gave Chuck an E for effort. He actually wore the shirt I sent him, which I was shocked. I
Oh
never
yeah.
thought he would, but he actually wore
Yeah.
the Lord Gazama
Yeah.
shirt, and there we go.
Chuck was awesome to
Chuck
hang
was
out with, and
awesome.
he did a really good job up at the Troll Lords game
Yeah.
room, where he was hanging out a lot, helping out, making sure the games ran smoothly.
Note Sunday night with Roger Moore. We're going to be highlighting Greyhawk, his Greyhawk content, like Greyhawk, the adventure begin. The return 1 to 2.5 Greyhawk, and the return of the 8, which you didn't get to last year. And Luke Gygax will be stopping in to talk about this Shin Tufi/Okaram Kickstarter coming up at some point in the night. So yeah, Chuck was hilarious the whole time. Absolutely.
Oh yes,
we had
he
a great
was.
time. We had a good time, and that's all that matters. And I'm looking forward next year. It's going to be a lot longer. It's going to be some special events. We got some of them little tidbits of what's going to happen. I'm excited. So, but tonight we're gonna dig deep down. We're gonna dig into an area it's really. Whoops! I just went in the great chat in
Hello,
Chat Fire by
George.
accident.
Welcome.
It's good to see you, everyone, tonight. We're getting back. Jay George was good. Oh, shoot. Wait. George gave Anna and me a gift, too.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Oh,
really?
oh, yes.
Yes,
Now,
thank
hang on
you.
a second. I have my,
They
thank
made
you
it
so
home.
much.
They made him home
Yes,
undamaged.
Yep,
All right,
mine
so
too.
thank you very much.
Mine is here, so
Really
thank you so
appreciate it.
much. Yep.
That was nice.
Yep, thank you so much. Yep.
Coffee mug?
Coffee mug and
coasters,
with dice on it. It's
that was
gorgeous.
cool.
Yeah, and coasters too. They're still in my only partially unpacked suitcase, and
Oh, you have
I had
history
wrapped
got
up my
conquered, too. Sorry to hear it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Good to see everyone. So, back to reality.
Exactly. Yeah.
Only 3 streams this week, Wednesday, tomorrow night, which I'm running a game I never thought I'd run again, an adventure. Talk about that later.
Yeah.
It's going to be discussing this map tonight. Some minor changes, and we got Roger Moore on Sunday to finish up the week. So, we've done a series of these from certain areas, from mountains, and we did the Vespi and the High Folk. And tonight, it would have freaking helped if I put up the big map on over here, and I didn't. That was dumb. But this area is one forest, but it's called 3, right?
Yeah, because it changes character a bit from there's like
exactly. Let me get that up here.
Yeah, it changed character from north to south. So in that sense,
north
I guess
to south to east. It's almost like
sus.
Thanks. Hello, Jeff. Good to see you. Yeah, it was nice meeting you. Jeff came on. Jeff was on.
Oh yes, that was
Wednesday
awesome
night.
To meet you.
It was Wednesday night's cabin. He came on. So
it was so much fun to meet so many people. You rarely get. You only interact with online normally, so it was great.
Here we go. Carlos, is Carlos on too? Carlos, good to see you, man. We
awesome.
Really missed you.
We missed you. Yeah, we missed you.
Good to see you, Carlos. So we got. I was a little. It went too fast. The fundraiser, but Carlos assigned Horn the Holes from you and me went for $50. So that we got 50 of the $52,000 that they raised. So hey, but we you and I donated something just so you're aware. I had an extra copy and I gave it in there. So awesome. Yes, I got turtleized right there. All right. From the Gnarly to the Sus, this area is rife. I mean, rife with, yes, Carlos, it was unbelievable. The Sandal of Greyhawk went to Joe Manganiello for $5,500, and he was bidding between him and the producer of the guy of Vox Machina, who I forget his name, was there. Yeah, the dude, he looked like a hippie. I mean, he had the hood on, he had the beard, looked like, it was just like sunglasses on. I don't know what his name was.
Yeah, he looked like a hooligan who.
Right, but he had a lot of money as a hooligan.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that. Yeah, so it was crazy. How much my voice carried so well in the room. His game was, well. I have a big mouth, George. I know your wife was there, and so, yep. Guy with the red hair was not the red hat guy. There was a guy on the other side near the fireplace. That guy over there. He was kind of like short, like 5'6", 5'7". Yeah, so it's all good. Okay. The Gnarly Forest. If you look at this, and we talk about this a lot of time, I know Vernon Vincent was talking about it on Facebook today. This area is overdone with stuff post books, right?
Do you think overdone?
No. Let me just rephrase that in comparison to the rest of Greyhawk.
Yeah, reasonably developed is probably the term I would like to use. Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to go down here. We're going to go down here. This Welkwood area, and then we're going to go down here.
Which is the Welkwood and the Sus are underdeveloped in my opinion, and
Welkwood especially.
The Gnarly is reasonably well developed.
We're going to talk about all that. So, Michael, good to see you. Too many L's, not enough doors, and then Gnarly. Well, I don't know about that, but and you can always talk about stuff that's right outside the Gnarly. And I remember, first off the Darlene map, you had Narwhal, which actually, if you look on there, looks like the word Warwell, and that's written in the Gary, the Gord books. He calls it Warwell, not Arwell, because it looks like that. Yeah. And you have Saved In, and you have but you don't have much else, right? There's not much else in these areas. It's just trees. But then comes Free City Greyhawk box set. And there's some other discussions in some other places, but I think that's where it really gets started, is here. So this is page 33 of the second book, and we're talking about Free City Greyhawk box set. My favorite publication. We went to Ultimate.
To some degree, you can even go back to Temple of Elemental Evil that is set in the area. Even that kind of sets the tone for some of the both in positive and negative. But you're right, it was the early era of Greyhawk products that kind of
and
added to that.
And I don't recall the Temple having a lot of write-ups on beyond just right at Nulb and its walls.
No, it just talked about the area down towards Ostberg and the western side of things a bit. And it was not detailed. It was more like set the tone, I would say, rather than detailed. You have to read between the lines to figure things out. So
true.
So the two products you mentioned brings up a quick point I want to point out. That is, the Gnarly Forest is claimed by like 4 parts of it are claimed by like 4 different countries.
That is true.
Saline and Verbobunk and Greyhawk City, Divers, maybe even Freyandi to a small degree.
Yep, a lot of that area, you're dead on that, and but they really don't have much to do with it. So there's red lines all over the place here. I think Anna tries to do that here and shows this is Divers,
very
claims. This is the Sylvan Elven clan
area. It's hard, and it might need a little bit. I've revised it several times, and might need to. I've revised it even again on my campaign map and stuff. But it's tricky, and it's starting to look a bit like medieval maps of Europe. If you start seeing claims there, you realize that this is it's one of these complicated things.
But that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
Yeah,
so much
makes it.
cool things on here that there's written documentation, and mostly it's 3 references: Free Cigarette box set, From the Ashes, second book, and then the Slavers reference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all those 3 is where we're going to be holding out court for the most part here. And if you want to put any other input in, please do.
The Gnarley is, would you say it is the most developed forest in the Greyhawk setting
Yes.
publication?
Yes. Yeah, no doubt about
I agree.
it.
Yeah, I think so.
Dense.
I don't think there's
Dense with
any.
info.
Yeah, it's simply at least up until Living Greyhawk. Then, weirdly enough, the Geoff people really developed the dim forest and the Oitwood, and especially the dim forest and stuff. They put lots of stuff in there, but but that's only semi-official in my sense, because it was not properly published as Greyhawk content. It was only used in the LG campaign.
Yeah, John, if Acquisitions Incorporated is in Greyhawk, I don't know what that means. I was at Gary Carnival last week, so if it was during all those D&D announcements, okay. We'll just have to send IUs in there and wipe them out or something. I don't know. So, no, that's pretty interesting. I'll check it out. Go to Rogue Books had some info in an early, if I recall. Rich, they did. Rich, thanks for the resub. So you did that.
Yeah.
They did, and like I said, I know that the name Warwell is used instead of Narwhal due to a Darlene. Hard to tell an N from a W. But let's talk about some of the earlier ones. There's some unbelievable places around here. Now, some of these are locations in the south are mine. Okay, sue me. Not a big deal. And I also have an article in their journal published about something pretty big in here. We'll get to that, hopefully.
All right.
Yep. All right. Gnarly Forest, Eastern Reach. Plus my voice might be going. Had them arriving in the city of Greyhawk.
All right then.
Well, you know what I'll do?
Game on.
Phoenixy, have to we'll have to put a plague or something on them. I'm just kidding. I don't care. That's good though. That's cool. Have to check it out. Random encounters. We went over these random encounter charts. How can you only have 12 different random encounters? I mean, hey, whatever, it is what it is, right? All the way from satyrs to a unicorn to ogres, woodsmen. It serves its purpose. Yeah. I'll take a look there. Dinosaurs hang out near Kit. What, Rich? Yeah, they can hop.
Thank you, Carlos, for asking that question. That's good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a subsidiary 5E group that
I know it's something to do with 5E. That's about it. So yeah.
Carlos, they got permission to go. I think you're being facetious, but they got permission to. They got books out, and they got. They're like a subgroup that they get permission from WotC to do stuff.
Is that Chris Perkins' group?
It is.
See, Chris Perkins is a huge Greyhawk.
It's Chris Perkins' group.
So if Chris Perkins is doing Greyhawk stuff, more power to him.
I guess I gotta see if he'll come on now. Yep, I will reach out to them both and say, if you don't come on, I'll badmouth you. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Anna.
No, I know you not. You almost done it. So. I just had to.
That was funny. That was hysterical.
I couldn't resist that one.
All right, so here's some locations. Lord Loxwell's Manor. Why this was the first one they ever put in there, I have no idea, but it's cool. All right, it's a big manor house. Gives you a place.
Just like
go ahead, Anna.
Just like Peculiar Manor that is from the Slavers.
Yeah. Perkins did a lot in Greyhawk during the I guess 4th edition era.
Yeah, he wrote so much stuff on it in 4th edition, and when he got in charge, it gave me high hopes for 5th edition, and then he went right back to doing Forgotten Realms.
I will reach out. I promise everyone, I will reach out to them both. If they say no, so be it, right? At least
Yep.
I reached out. You know me, I'm not bashful. So, my thought on Lord Loxwell's Manor was we need a place so that they can adventure out of. That was, I
Okay.
think, what the thought
Mhm.
was here,
Yeah.
because it's right on the edge, right?
Hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. And it is disturbingly close to one of the coolest locations in all of Greyhawk, right
Yeah, and
here.
it's yeah, and I also think it's cool to have something that it has a little bit of that frontier feel just
Yeah.
next door to Greyhawk, so you can have rangers and outdoorsy types have somewhere to you can go adventure. If you're done with big city, you can kind of get that deep woods feel close by.
Yes, I'm not going to
Yeah.
speculate. If I speculate, then I'll start. Then my eyes might pop out of my head there, John. So
Oh, that's my department to
yeah,
speculate.
yeah. I mean, it's on the Europa Creek, and you got a lot of areas here that'll be that. This stuff was developed early on. This is
Mhm.
pre Living Greyhawk era.
Yeah.
So, Skarain and I think you added this, right? You added this Greyhawk River Patrol
Oh
right
yeah,
here.
that
Yeah.
is from the Ashes had a heraldry card,
Yep.
so it's
Yep.
from that one. Yep.
Absolutely, and that's more for
Nice.
this. Yeah, that's
Yep.
more. Yeah, and so this is really close to the. And we had this argument, not an argument, discussion. How is this navigable? But one ford and two ford exist.
Yeah,
That's a good question.
exactly. But they might have been that in name only, and that I have them as ferries across, so to speak. But they might still have the ford name, even if it's not technically a ford. It might even be like a bridge over, or I'm probably more likely a ferry. But they
Yeah,
might still have a ford name.
yeah. My guess is maybe I don't know, a small bridge or something. Who
Yeah,
knows? Who knows now? I mean, I just it's one of those things I ignore. There's so many. There's so many. When you get deeper and deeper into things, there's so many. What's the
it's
word? Discrepancies. It's like different novel
mhm,
writers, right? You're
yeah.
gonna get that.
But
So
I kind of like to have these kind of inconsistencies difficult to
you
deal with,
do,
so to speak. It's yeah, I do. Yeah.
you do
I'm building
absolutely.
across. I'm starting to figure out how to bridge the Veng, which is like a mile wide. So I try to design islands and sandbanks and all sorts of stuff in order to bridge it. And I'm thinking about what a fantasy design of a suspension bridge might look like.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so I'm going to see if I can design one for that
Okay.
goes across the Veng. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's all sorts of like, and this area is just two fords I prefer. That's funny. I've heard you. So that Loxwell's Manor is there, but yes, Anna's. As you can see, Anna's fighting it. The village of
Yes.
Five Oaks is to
Mm-hmm.
the south, so you have a community here as well. It's like they
Yeah.
have a sawmill, carpenter, blacksmith. It's a human community. And look, the proprietor, Malco Frump, is an entrepreneur working for the Free City Merchant Traders Union. So you have a lot of areas that they've said, all right, here's your civilization if you want to adventure here. And then let's just jump right into this. Blackthorn is really cool. And if you haven't
Blackthorn.
utilized it and you're adventuring, it's great because it's just like endless. It's a lair of orcs and ogres concealed not far from the very edge of the forest itself. And it shows you, here's the pictures of the kind of layout we're talking about. So look, deep. It's deep and it goes on. And rumors are that it connects to the Underdark. So you have endless possibilities here. Mike,
I
you ever
love
utilized Blackthorn?
cutaway maps. I want to say I have used Blackthorn. Doesn't Blackthorn tie into the Greek ruins?
It might be,
Or
but
am
I'm
I
not sure.
imagining that?
I
I
I don't think I've used it. Maybe early on, but no, I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know
I
if
don't think
it
we ever
ties into Greyhawk
went
ruins
there.
directly. They started
But
here.
you should. You've been there more than the rest of us combined, Jay.
Well,
I don't recall it connecting to. I
Mhm.
mean, I've used Blackthorn
Yeah.
a lot. So in
but
my
if
campaign,
Blackthorn is the like main source of humanoids in the area,
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely where the Temple of Elemental Evil was getting them from.
yeah, they ain't getting from the Lort Mills. That's a
Yeah.
good point.
So I always wonder why IUs had to dig a 450-mile tunnel when they had Blackthorn. Yeah, they could have recruited them. It's
Yeah,
easier.
and I'm curious if
Yeah.
that is where the confusion lies. You see,
Hmm.
as I recall, Blackthorn was connected to it, and somehow that might have got confused or transposed with IUs
Okay.
doing a tunnel to
Yeah.
reference.
So, but they're not Iusian um,
I
humanoids here. They're
exactly. I don't
independent.
think so. At
So
least not in the
yeah,
from the ashes and
maybe that
but
was the change, and they go, "Well, we can't do that because then we're
yeah.
going to make all these Iusian."
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's good either way.
Yeah.
It's good either way. I love having it there. Um, I have my Keep Forest Green's Bastion. I've had a Blackthorn invaded it before. Did that a long time ago. That's a developed keep. And then you have the Archdruids Grove up here, but you have other besides that. Looking for that's cool. I mean,
Yeah,
Ed
I
would love
think
for you to do that.
I think I placed the Archdruid. There was several art. I think it was an article in Worth Journal and some other sources where I actually sprinkled out the Druid sites across the Flannies. And I did that almost like 8 years ago. So I might want to look into and revise them a little bit. But it's there was an article I think about the Old Faith, and they had them listed by region, and that's where it comes from.
Carlos, you got me on that. By the way, Wally Hobbit ran Your One Adventure when it comes to Witching Hour at Greyhawk at GC, and he said it was brutal on the players. So just to let you know, if he hops on, I know he ran it. So
yeah, I sat in on that for a little while. It
oh,
looked like
okay,
they were getting their butts kicked
they were getting their butts kicked.
because they were all mumbling Carlos's name. Like, darn Carlos.
Because it's never the DM who's running its fault. It's always the
Right,
person who
right.
wrote its fault. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's hysterical. Yeah.
Dark Elf Twilight has a good question. It's an interesting one about world building a bit, meaning
Sure.
do cities and towns and settlements in general, do they clear the area around them when they're in the forest or not? And I think that generally depends on the nature of the settlement. Meaning if it's a settlement that is self-sustained by agriculture, they for the most part need to have a significant portion of area around them cleared for agricultural use, so to speak. But that might be meaning we're talking about a fantasy world here. So if they have like a druidic help or whatever, they might be able to boost yields and to get what they want, like an elven community. I can see they basically use more like wild foraging and enhanced with their kind of close to the wilderness thing, so they might not want to have it. But if they are more like a conventional town or city or something, then they probably have huge areas that are open fields and stuff for grazing and for growing crops of various kinds. And also another aspect, if it's a military outpost, then they probably clear it at least a few hundred yards so they can detect enemies, so enemies can't sneak up on them. So they built the fortification usually on a play on so a little bit higher ground, so they can get a feel for the area, and it's more difficult for the enemy to attack uphill. And then they clear the forest but reasonably far away enough so they could, so the enemy can't hide big things like siege engines and stuff like that. So you keep an eye out for the surrounding area, so to speak. So even if it's just a military outpost with no that gets the food delivered and not have no population to that produce food for, they might clear it for strategic and tactical reasons in order to do it. So those are my basic ideas of it. So most settlements probably have cleared. And another thing is that firewood is a big thing, meaning if you want to burn fuel in order to cook and to stay warm, then people tend to be lazy over time, and you don't walk through a forest to cut down trees when you can go out the door and cut them down. But also I think that most settlements probably would leave a few trees of significance. If they're like old faithers there, they would probably leave some trees to worship and a little bit of a park, because most humans and others have a tendency of not chopping down every tree in sight. You might want to leave of them, but industrious ones or chaotic ones, they might simply chop down everything just because there is no organized rule in that sense. People just go out.
Divers is a sailing nation.
Yeah.
So they probably need shipbuilding materials.
Yeah.
And there is a road from Divers to Greyhawk. Right?
Oh yeah, that's one of the.
Yeah,
I guess that's one of the more really more frequent used ones in the setting, because it's two major metropolis, and it also cuts short because sea route goes around for several days, so it might actually be faster to take. Yeah, by land, even when you haul goods and stuff. So I bet that one, and you also avoid piracy and monsters out on the near div and stuff. So I take that area is well patrolled, civilized, safe roads generally, so to speak.
So with that was a great question. With that book, if we jump to the From the Ashes box set book, the second book,
yeah,
we're gonna get some real detail about the Gnarley now. And all right, this is creme de la creme, Sergeant. We know we had on my 10 things I hate about Greyhawk stuff that drove me crazy, and we got into discussion with Roger Moore about all the stuff he had to undo, and we're gonna hear more about it on Sunday. Hey, great. Excuse me. There's some really good stuff in here.
Yeah.
Really good. Talking about, now you're going to get some organizations which were rumored but not mentioned until this point, which I liked. And we're going to talk about beyond just the elves, we're going to know about the gnomes. So there's 1,000 gnomes in the forest here. Kind of didn't know that from the Free City Girl box set, right? Didn't know that. So now we have.
There's population figures listed in the Old Greyhawk box set for the Gnarley Forest.
Right.
Like human and elf.
Well, there are gnomes in there, though.
I think so.
Well, they're okay.
Yeah.
That's me not paying attention, Mike.
Well, I mean, it's really not much else to look at concerning the Gnarley in this book, except maybe the population.
We will get to the Sewell, Rich. Trust me, we have 2 hours to fill. We will fill it.
3,000 gnomes.
3,000. So
Okay.
somehow they lost 2,000.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well, it says it's a crossover between where the Crown Hills ends and where the Gnarley Forest begins, right? So I think that's it.
I like how they merge together.
Mm-hmm.
I do like that.
Yep. Elves. Sylvan Elf clans are here in the Gnarley. It's not high and gray. It's more of the Sylvan Elven community. And they have clan names, too. So when I have Sylvan Elves come in my campaign, they come from 2 spots. Okay? They come from, oh my God. See, my brain just shut down. They come from Axewood. Right? Where the heck's Axewood? Right? That's where Imri's from. They come from the Axewood. Because Silverwood is high elves. And they come from here. And all the clans are here, are named. Anna has them on the map, which is great. And they have specialties, which is even cooler. So, Clan Sherendil, they are blunt, pragmatic, to the point, dealing with outsiders. And the Melderin elves are bowmen, or the greatest bowmen, and they have the most half elves, and they're the most friendliest towards humans and gnomes. Clan Felafel, mages, right? More wizards than the other clans. And the rarest one, Elanifel, they are seers, mystics, and lore masters. I think that's kind of cool.
And yeah, that last one you mentioned are pretty damn cool.
Hey,
can't remember if it's in from the Ashes or if it's in the other one. But it talks about how they keep their records. They don't have like libraries with books. They have magical means of storing lore, which I
Yeah,
found
it's
very
cool. I mean,
fascinating.
and I love this level of detail. It was in here, and they did a real good job of pumping up these tidbits that was one step beyond what's been placed in any of the other books. Right? He went and really got some detail here.
It's scary to think you almost get more cultural information on elves and gnomes in the gnarly forest than you would in Selene.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it says it here. All gnarly elves have a preference for Selene over Greyhawk, and those who live beyond Selene's borders pass on information about the events in
yeah,
the forest. And you see that in some of the Free City Grok box set adventure cards. You know, in fact,
Yeah.
if I recall, was it Guild Superior that ran the plague, or was it Wily Hobbit? One of them ran the plague card, plague in Shelaton, which was from Welkwood, this area, during a fundraiser. So that was kind of cool too. So I would question this one for all three of you. What makes it
I would say yes.
Great
Same.
question.
I think they would call themselves Sylvan, and I think humans would call them wood
wood? Yeah,
elves.
that's it. Sylvan. I know Anna differentiates how she does elves, but
Oh yeah, I do elves differently,
Unfortunately,
but
yeah,
Greyhawk
yeah.
wasn't had the foresight like Dragonlance or Forgotten Realms to give them cool sounding names of their own, like
Yeah.
Qualinesti and
Mm-hmm.
which are
Sylvanest.
cool.
But we
Yeah,
can invent elvish names for these
yeah.
because I see these as Oridian,
They're just
Sewell,
Olven,
or yeah, or
Olven.
common names rather than elven names for these.
Yeah,
So you got the clans, which is cool.
Yeah.
Dwarves.
type
There are no
clans.
more than 100 dwarves within this area, and that is the Welkwood. Yeah, most of it work around the mines of Nambril. 4,000 human woodmen.
Dwarves
They're
in the
sympathetic to
forest.
Greyhawk and welcome both rangers and militia. And they dwell. They try to dwell peacefully, and they're not. Their subsistence farmers are not cutting down trees wantonly. Yeah, they care not to clear large areas of the forest. So, yeah. Next, which is really cool here, and this is an entire organization of rangers. They're only forest rangers. A cool idea. There is
Mm-hmm.
also a second group here as well.
And how many are there?
200.
200. Now,
That's a lot of
I'd almost.
rangers.
I'm curious to even go back. How many rangers are in the Vesivie Forest? I'm just gonna guess off the top of my head. There's not that many. There's less in the Vesby.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, as an organization or as just rangers,
Because if you remember
Qualston
from the
and
previous show, the Rangers gather at Qualston, I think it
yeah.
is, or something like that. So there is some
Hey
kind of,
Jeff.
I don't know if they have a organization with a name, and the Gnarly Rangers also have 7 Ranger Knights, whatever that entails.
Right.
They seem bigger and in this, they're more developed.
So Carl as Sergeant has developed this at least for symbols. How how can you differentiate by level, right? Silvered oak leaf, golden acorn. So he's done that. A moonstone if it's a ranger knight. If the ranger is a worshiper of Alona, a symbol of unicorn horns often added by those at levels 4 plus. So at least he's gone into some gaming detail. The languages they know, which is different. Rangers don't necessarily know Druidic, but these do. And we're talking old school rules here, everyone. So are they? This is from the Ashes here, and the answer to that is not officially with Greyhawk. No. They made a core state every 2 or 3 months. Share information about the Guild Acorn there. So a lot of them fought in Furiundi as volunteers during the wars. So no, they're not. They sort of fealty to themselves. Good question there. Yeah. I just like that there's details here that, and look, even signals. Signals and non-weapon proficiency, so they're getting into a lot of the 2E realm. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. Named
Yeah.
characters too.
Yeah.
Named characters. What were we gonna say, Anna?
No, I'm just clearing my throat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you get some names here. Now, this is the organization I think a lot of you, especially you 5e players, may get excited about. And that's the Swan Maze. If Forless, that's funny there, David. Yes, that's true. How many of you do not know what a Swan May is? I don't know. Is Swan May a thing in 5th edition?
If it isn't, it should be.
You can be honest if you don't know what a Swan May is. So, okay. Well, no, there you go, Phoenix. Thank you. So the Swan May it's in Monster Manual 2 originally. The Swan May is a elven or human elven or half elven female who has acquired a special token that's magical, and then they can change their form into a swan. They're rangers, most of them. There may be other classes, and they can turn themselves into a swan. Now, the swan can only be hit by magical weapons, so if there's a whole stampeding troop of orcs, you may want to change into a swan, and it's kind of a neat concept. And here, Matriarch Serendia, multi-class priest of Alana, and a ranger. So a ranger cleric. Another ranger cleric is Bladestorm, by the way, if you want to know. That's a viable multi-class. So the Swan Maze are kind of a neat, like it's almost the beginning of remember, this is 2nd edition. It's almost the beginning of certain like a Fey type of creature. This was with this power. Doesn't talk about how the token works. Serendia enchants the tokens that Swan Maze use for their transformations. Kind of, I like it. Well, in the Order of Ulick, there's one Swan May. Alan has a character who is an actual Swan May, and is from the Gnarley. So nice. I think it was cool. Yeah, I think it's a neat concept. Yeah. Anyone utilize them? I do. Not that much, but I utilize them. So druids. With 200 rangers, you think 30 is a little light on druids, don't you think, Mike?
I think 30 seems a little heavy.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're all Lana worshipping druids.
Unless they're also heading down to the Welkwood and Sus as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. Werewolves and other shapeshifters use their skins of their animals. So it's almost like a totemic lycanthropy there, Rex Fellis, if you want to talk about it that way, right? It's almost that totemic style. There's an archdruid. So they've named a lot of these individuals, and then we have the fairy folk and the Gnarly. Treants are up here, sprites, pixies. So it's got a lot of fey feel to it. Werebears, of course, the humanoids are there from Blackthorn. So you have everything you want in the things are magic user PC cast 5 got a Swan May. Oh, that's cool. That is neat. That's a great idea, Carlos.
Yeah, did you mention the leader of the Swan Maze?
Yeah, yes, Serendia.
Yeah, that's a high level character right there.
Multi-class, so she's got to be half elven or elvish.
I'm wondering if this one slipped by. And remember when we were doing episodes on like notable clerics, notable fighters?
Yeah, we missed her.
Yeah.
Yeah, big one. Yeah, 12th level. That's pretty high. Super high level. That's super high in Greyhawk. So with that, it says that the Swan Maze are also devoted to spying around all over the place. Wild Coast, Verberblanc, Pommarge, they're all over, just like Rangers should be. So it would be fun to use the version of Japanese. So be no problem appropriating it, Phoenixy. I don't think it would be an issue at all. I think it's really cool. Get a Monster Manual 2 1st edition, and it's very basic in there. And you can go to this. This is from the Ashes, the 2nd book, just to get some more details. Or you can ask me. I'd be more than happy to help you out.
Now, a good question from Rex Fellis Catlord. Would these Gnarly Druids be neutral good since they worship Alana, or are they non-true neutral druids in Greyhawk? That's a good question. How do you guys run the old faith and druidism?
That is a great question, and I've been wow, that's fantastic.
I guess so. Yeah, you gotta draw a line between them and the flying ones, right?
Yeah. We've been dealing with this for 40 years, this argument. No, I'm dead serious.
Oh yeah, I dealt with it too, and then I sold it. So how?
See, it was good meeting you. Jay,
how you come up?
this is what I do.
Solution?
we came up with our Avenger class, which we said it's kind of they're like the the militant druids, right? Because they got elemental spells, and they can be neutral, neutral good, or neutral evil. And then I thought, well, why can't the druids be that too? So this happened like only 2 years ago. After we decided to allow, and you got to give me a reason your druid to be either neutral, neutral good, or neutral evil. One of the three. So the answer is yes. I think they're either neutral, neutral good in the Gnarley. I don't think they're evil in the Gnarley. But great tie-in. Let's go back. I have to do it. This is not canon, but it should be. Anna, you know where I'm going?
No, I'm not sure.
Oh, you should.
Okay.
I have placed this in the Gnarly Forest.
Uh-oh. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to bring up that
Nice.
part in how I had dealt with it, but it's interesting. Yep.
Yes.
So how do you see them or you don't, the dark faith or the old faith is not central to Druidism in your campaign, is it?
No,
Or is it?
it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. It's another, like, the old faith is there, but it's not
Uh-huh.
the only, right? So
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
this is a corrupted old faith.
Mhm.
Rob Kuntz, we've had him on. We're gonna have Rob back, and so I have already started in my Narwhal campaign bringing Dark Druids in the reaches of the Gnarly Forest as adversaries, and they got some grand plot going on. So similar thought on the Leaky Druid Ranger multi-class. Exactly, Curtis. Dead on. I think
Anna, we fought some evil druids at GaryCon, didn't we?
Oh,
I think so. Yeah.
that's cool.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good. Neutral evil is respect to humanity, non-absolute. So as long as Druid, yeah, exactly, Rich. I think it took, because of that. You can only be neutral from a druid originally in the first edition Players Handbook, and you know how much sticklers we are. It took us 41 campaign years to finally make that change. Just so to show you can teach an old dog new tricks.
Well, yeah, and I understand you, because it took me decades to figure out what I wanted to do with the Druidism and Old Faith and stuff. And the way I've dealt with it, first of all, I've tied Old Faith much deeper into flandom than the books normally or the lore normally says, because it's kind of a little bit ambiguous and it's tiny to classes and stuff. And since I downplayed that game rule aspect in my campaign, so it's more like things belong in the setting rather than they belong somewhere in the rules, and that gives me a lot of leeway to do it. So the way I've done it is that the Old Faith is flandom. It's the old religion of the Flan, and religion is seen neutral simply because there's good and bad sides to it, so to speak. And it's not that the priests themselves are neutral, and most of them are definitely not. There are some ones that, and let's start with the typical druid from an Iridian standpoint, like the typical from the normal rules. And in my campaign, those are the Flan leftovers, that the few refuge of old Flan priests that are active in Airdie lands, or Old Grey Kingdom lands, that they were a minority that was persecuted and wanted to not hunted to extinction, but wanted to seen as an old remnant that was mostly to be forgotten. They were the neutral kind of outcast that was sitting out in the forest and trying to hold on to old Flan stuff. But they are a minority, and they're certainly not representative of how it used to be. And I have the Old Faith being, the Old Faith is not also a Flan description. That's a Great Kingdom invention. They called it the Old Faith because it was the old that needed to be renewed with their faith, so to speak. So it's a derogatory term in my campaign from the Great Kingdom. And the Druids are then you have the old Flan faith had two sides to it. One was the good side, so to speak, that people used in order to preserve, protect, and defend themselves. And there you have the Obadhai and especially the Biori, the ones that bless your field, heal you, and all the traditional stuff that priests do. But then they also had the dark side to it, and for me, that was the leftover, the Urflan. Those were the ones that guarded the dead, and they were also the ones that ultimately was the military protection, so to speak. If everything went south, you called in the horned ones, and they were the representatives of the dark ones. Those were the evil cults, Suktmoy, Gerast, and Nerul, and a bunch of others, so to speak. And that's where I have my dark face. So much less tied to nature than the druids that the Great Kingdom knew about, that we read about in the books. And that's been my way of handling it, so to speak. So I tie it into a lot of, and the Urflan cults are still there in some ways, so to speak. They're still Gerast cults, Nerul cults, and stuff. And then some of them have gone all the way into common religion, like Rao and Nerul are now common gods and not only old faith gods. Pelor, especially, that was a Flan god, had now become a major god in Western Erdidum, in Forion Diveluna and stuff like that. So there's now a kind of a tie-in, and also a tie-in with Elven and Flan gods back in the day. So I want to have that kind of interesting religious dynamic going on in my campaign that evolves over time.
Right. Once again, though, you don't necessarily tie Druidism into Old Faith. It doesn't have to be mutually exclusive.
No, it doesn't have to. That's a choice
Right.
you make in your
Right.
campaign if you want to make that connection or you want to skip it, so to speak. It depends on how you run the campaign, what rules you use, and how you like things, basically. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I just what's the question? I love Rob Kuntz's Dark Druids. It's great written material, and they're even more vile than I would say Old Faithers are. They got their own crazy agenda, which is great.
Yeah, and my druids not only they live in any climate, so to speak. And the reason they're not normally in cities is that most cities were run by the Airdi, and they didn't want any old druids running around representing things that they had conquered, so to speak. That's why they were regulated, or they had to flee out and practice their faith out in the boondocks, so to speak. So that's why they got but back in earlier Flan times in my campaign, they were definitely the priest of the cities too. But the Flans were fewer, so they didn't have that big of cities. The population levels were lower, but they had religious centers.
Cool.
Yeah. But that's my take on it. So yeah.
And it's great to have differing viewpoints and takes on everything. It's awesome. Mike, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say, just druids and fours for a long time. If someone wanted to make a druid of a swamp or a mountain, I wouldn't stop them. No.
But there were dragon articles of different types of druids. There were the Arctic druids, the desert druids, and there were druids books. I think it was second edition started having these kind of variant druids rules for the complete druid handbooks had various. I think there was even an urban druid write up somewhere, but I think it was the complete druid had lots of versions of them. So you could have like the druid of the plains, aquatic druids, mountain druids, desert druids, and stuff.
And the wild shape and the different creatures of the air and sea. I think though a lot of the problem with it is that their spell list selection is kind of tied heavily into tree.
It's all great concepts, like hey, the Snow Elves and Dragon magazines, or Xfella says, and Mystery says the Earthland and Orc druids who venerated the more alien what we think of as life. Very possibly. Absolutely. I mean, it's just when I go into the weeds on druids, it's very easy to do.
I have Suktmoy priests, meaning that they are a version of Old Faith druidism in Suktmoy. I had one in my current Shieldlands campaign, a Suktmoy priest.
As a PC?
Cultist.
Yeah, as an NPC. Yeah.
Oh, NPC.
Yeah, I haven't had any PCs yet, but if someone wants to convert, it might be tricky. Yeah, I will send the Shieldland guards after them.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, some areas of note, and we'll go into the Welkwood.
Yeah. Thank you, Rex Fellis, because I think that's what we aim to do here. We aim to inspire you and talk about the lore and different ways you can use it and how you can tweak it for your campaign, so to speak.
In 3E, there are Dwarven Druids in the Underdark. Really, Rich? Are you being...
It's Rich. Move on.
That's a good one, Mike. Scorain. A priest of Cabulus is lurking about here. It says nearly deserted small village.
Yeah,
Yes.
I made it a
Fabulous.
ruin on my map because
We
of
get
that.
very
Right.
few encabulous references.
Yes,
Yeah.
here's a good one.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Yep.
So, Colrath believes a ruined subterranean temple of Encabulus is nearby. He's searching for it. Now, this is one of Mike's favorites, isn't it, Mike? The Wailing Halls?
The Wailing Halls.
Oh, yes.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
all the way down here near Bad Deep, which is
Yeah.
another cool place.
I had my Rel Devon campaign did a foray to the Wailing Halls.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This is the
Bad
home of the
Deep is a
human
battle
mage
zone.
Belzane, who was slain to have slain her apprentices and fellow adventurers when her mind was possessed by a fiend.
Yeah.
She's now said to wander her halls disheveled and floridly insane. That's a bad day.
Yep.
Yeah. So what happened in yours, Anna? What happened?
I had the Lord Mastrain used the Wailing Halls to hide some of his stuff that he didn't want to be sitting on himself, just in case. So he was his backup. He stored some stuff in there just that he stole and got away with, because he was one of the one when the Great Kingdom fell apart. He wanted to see if he could store some of their, not crown jewels, but some important stuff from the Great Kingdom as it fell apart. So he set up shop in Mastrain, and then he used the Wailing Hall as a place of storing some of his treasure, just in case someone will come and tear down his castle and rob him. So he placed some of it there. So I had the PCs going there to find some of it. So yep.
I have no problem with having a druid in a city here, and especially a player character one, as long as they go and they got to do their thing, because you're never going to have them adventuring with them if not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, druids need to do some shopping occasionally, I guess, or something. Yep.
Especially multi-class
Oh,
ones. Oh, there it is.
Scorain.
Scorain. That's where it is. Is that
Mhm.
is that 2.5 or is that 3.0?
That's in the map booklet that comes
That's in
with,
Roger Moore's, which we're going to be talking about with
The
Roger
Adventure
Moore.
Begins.
Yes. On Sunday. We'll be talking that and Return of the Eight as when Roger Moore is back on Sunday evening.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. It was
So,
great meeting him at the
It
convention.
was awesome, and he was really, really into
I'm happy to
what
see
we were
that he
doing.
made it 2 years in a row. So that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
he's
just
in
had
it.
to go home early a bit. That was the sad part. He had to leave
Oh.
convention early, so he couldn't stay the whole convention. But when he was there, it was fantastic to talk to him. So yeah.
By the way, if you're new, please follow. We're on the way to our 10th. Trying to get once you get over the hump, I can forget this.
Yeah. How close are you?
Well, it looks like I lost a couple, so
Damn.
I'm like 36 away. It's okay. Yep. You're working Sunday? Oh, that stinks. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Carlos, you can hop in. Oh, Luke will be on too, Carlos. Luke will hop on at some point and talk about his Okaram Shintufi Kickstarter, which starts off on Tuesday. So he just wants me to help shout it out, and we will. So, I love Return D8. Carlos, if you can hop on from work on a break, we'll let you ask directly whatever you want, like you do on your phone before.
Yep.
So, yep. Well, a lot of cities have groves, Rick Strauss. Remember that.
Yeah.
There's a grove right in Hamlet. Right in
And I could definitely see like the old
Stronghold.
Duchy of 10 that was very flan. They might have had city druids just to as part of the, well, it depends on if you tie in druidism with old faith or flandom or not, so to speak. But if you do, then there are areas that could definitely have more urban druids. And if not, then you should probably keep them out in the forests. Yeah.
Yep, doing a nice giveaway. Stronghold, did I miss you at GaryCon? I didn't. Our paths not cross, or you said hi to me and I ignored. If I did, I apologize. I was not feeling great and I got through the week. So yeah. Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, not cool, but cool that I didn't ignore you.
Yeah.
And I feel bad every time. Like Rich Illustrion comes with his daughter, and I can talk to him for about 3 minutes because he catches me when I'm running somewhere and whatever.
That's
and
a
same
sad
thing with
bit.
George X Fire and his wife. We really appreciate the gifts. I appreciate you guys hanging. All right, I want to talk about Bad Deep. Here's another place. Bad Deep. Here lies an area of some 4 square miles, blasted and deadened. Ancient battle site where 2 Iridian tribes kicked the shit out of Souls. Oh, no, it doesn't say that, Rich. I'm sorry. 200 tribes battled hundreds of years in the past.
So recently, as Greyhawk history goes, that's pretty recent.
Yeah.
It is. definitely. The druids of the Gnarly try to hold this creeping death at bay with regenerative spells. So I have it that the dark druids are trying to expand it. So there you go. That's a good idea, Scottish Jeff. It's just so
Yeah, that
hard.
is a good idea.
Maybe on Wednesday night. Wednesday night before the con actually starts. That's a good idea next year. See, Jeff, you're a genius, no matter what anyone says. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
So I like Bad Deep. It's another cool area in here. It's right here. Bad Deep, right near the Wailing Holes.
Yep.
It's a great name.
It is.
Deep.
It is, definitely. With that, now here's a little weird thing that this is supposed to be in. This is technically Walkwood here. So we'll just putting names and names. Listen, you've been doing
Yeah.
I've been doing a live streaming for 5 years, putting your
Mm-hmm.
real name to your Discord name to your Twitch name.
Yep. And next year we can see if we can, after the Legends and Lore or something, if we can have like a dinner or do something more kind of like that and hang out more formally afterwards or something. That will be kind of cool.
Next year, I hopefully won't need to have an Altamira announcement thing because it'll be done by then, right, Anna? So
yeah,
maybe we can have a welcome Greyhawk community member, Cannon Fire / Tori Gazamba / all the streamers group meetup.
Yeah,
that's a good idea, Jeff. Really good. All right, so Oak, we're gonna start heading into the Walkwood from here.
We'll come back.
Oh, you have something else you want to talk? Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
Let's like Zendrelda's Tower.
Yes, that's the one you love so much.
That's
I can't remember the name of it.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Yeah, crazy old Zendrelda.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
She has a lighthouse in a forest.
Yes.
Yeah. And she predicts that the Greyhawk Wars is a sign that the Earth will flood.
Yeah, she's been around a while, so yeah. In my campaign, that's actually happened back in the day, and it might happen again. So she's not too far.
Go digging around on Cannon Fire, you might actually see the results of that.
Yeah.
Yes, or on Anna's.
I have a hot earth and cold earth with lower and higher ocean levels. So she will be kind of up there on that ridge. So yeah.
It's gonna be a little island.
200 feet high is high.
Yeah.
So you can see it's like Orthanc high, where that's like.
Interestingly,
Orthanc is higher than 200 feet. I think
highest thing in the Gnarly Forest because those elves of the sages, have a tree in oak vein.
Yes, exactly.
That is 240 feet tall.
Yep.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That I think is really, really cool. That there's some. Yeah.
So she has a priest of Ayus hanging out with her now too. So,
on the secret Ayusium.
12th level. That's pretty impressive for a 12th level wizard to build this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's your first global warming crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Greyhawk style.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Anyhow, the other thing I think I was going to mention about the Gnarly Forest is that in that City of Greyhawk box set, one of the adventure cards is the Verbeeg of the Gnarly Forest.
Yes, true.
Oh, there are Verbeegs in the Gnarly?
Yes, there are.
Yes. And it's a ranger comes to the PCs and says, hey, someone's killing a bunch of unicorns.
Yep.
Come help me check it out. And it's like a whole clan of
good point.
Verbeeg living in the lair of the former lair of a green dragon.
Yeah. That doesn't mean it's close to Chlorinus, but it could be in this area. It could not be.
It's a dead dragon, a long gone dragon.
Yeah.
So it's not specifically placed on this map?
No, it's not placed. It's just
it's
Gnarly Forest.
Yep. Absolutely. It's an adventure card, 1 page.
In the title. It's like a 6th level adventure, so.
By the way, if you were there, you got my adventure card. So just note. A lot of you have the adventure card for the Altamira box set, so there you go. This parrot is deceased. Okay, so what else you got? You got anything else in this area, Mike? Some good things I missed. Thank you.
I think that's it.
Some cool stuff. There's a lot of great locations. According to Sergeant. Oak Vein is in the Welkwood.
Oh well, we were going there anyways.
Yes.
It's it's kind of
So if you were sitting in the very top bow of Oak Vein, you could look across to the horizon and see Zendrola's tower poking out over the Gnarley. No,
Absolutely.
no, it's so far away that even
just too
even
far
200
away?
feet up,
Oh.
you will not see
well,
it.
that's a shame.
Yep, it's too many
When the
miles
Earth
away.
is flooded, Oak Vein and Zendrola's tower will be the only thing remaining.
Yeah.
Yes. That's funny. So, home to 6 lore masters of Clan Elenifol. So that's the Seer clan,
Yeah.
Sylvan Elves. So it says hide and branches among trailing. There's only 25 elves here. Unicorns, talking elves, brownies, pixies. The tree has 90% magic resistance.
Yeah.
It's
I
pretty nasty.
bet Vesvi would like to have that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they look at the priests: Corel, Narathian, Labalus, Araneth, and Sayanine. They're not druids. They're elven priests, war masters. So they're spellcasters.
That would
clerics.
that'd be a bad place to attack.
Yes.
Those are probably all high level.
Mm-hmm.
Really neat. So Oak Vein is kind of, God, I hate doing this. It's kind of that tree that was in Avatar, and kind of like the main tree in Lothlorien,
Yes.
and the tree
Yes.
the timeless tree in the Vestry. This is the tree of the Gnarley and Welkwood.
Tree of Destiny.
So, they said I think it said 4,000 in the Gnarley, and the Welkwood's even less as we go, because the Welkwood is, and when we're talking about the Welkwood, we're talking about from Oak Vein down, and look, there's nothing. I mean, there's the Welkwood is home to a lot of, according to
I got about 16,000 on my
How many?
notes. 12,000 woodsmen, 4,000 Sylvan Elves is what I got from
in the Gnarley or the Welkwood.
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 Yeah.
It must be to the east then, right?
Well,
They
it's large.
are largely to the west, I believe.
Really, on the
'Cause
Selene
I think
side.
the writing says that Selene claims the Welkwood, but they really only control the west bank of it.
Okay, so they control this area here, running up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these would all
This
be
is
humans
Welkwood, I
that
believe,
are,
too, right here. Maybe or
Yeah.
maybe not. Because really, as you can see, this is Sylvan Elf, but this goes into Selene. So I think this area right here, where the Jewel and whatever river this is, I think this is Welkwood too, right there. I could, but it's all the same, right? It's all the same.
it all runs together.
Yeah, it all runs together. I'm surprised there's that many. Now, Pasquarel is inside the Welkwood, the Cockatrice Riders.
Yeah.
Must-
Now that is one I've used before. Those
Yes.
guys are fun.
Yeah. Mustrin and
Lord Mastrine,
yeah,
Mastrine,
Pasquarel.
which Anna and I both use.
Yep.
I use them a little differently than Anna does, but
Oh,
he's
but
nasty
I'm
both
taking
ways.
up some ideas from you. So I'm next time I
Yes.
run in, he will have
See,
daughters
Carlos?
and stuff.
I
So
know.
Mastrine's daughters. There's
Yeah.
at least 4 of them.
I like that idea.
anti-paladins.
So he's definitely going to get daughters in my
Would you like
campaign
some
for the
tea and
future.
crumpets? No.
Oh.
Rushcore, you have Rushcore's lair. Which
Yeah.
is the dragon? Is it Clustercornus or Rushcore seen in the Gord novels?
Rothcore, yeah, it's my name. I came up with Rothcore, and I'm not sure if I stole it from somewhere or if I invented it. I am not sure, but I've used it forever. So I think I came up with the name or stole it from somewhere long ago. But the dragon, and I placed the lair there from the Gord novels. And remember the second one in Artifact of Evil, when he's in that chariot and the dragon comes up after. That is from when they fly over the Welkwood.
Which is cool. So it's not Clustercornus, it's Rothscore. right? It's him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rothcore. Yeah, it's
Are
that
they both
dragon. Yeah,
green?
Klaus. Yeah, they're both green. And
Okay.
Claustochlorinius is I forgot. I'm sorry, I forgot who did it, but it's from an Earth Journal article that someone or
Okay.
Cannon Fire. I forgot which on the wrote an article and published it on Cannon Fire. That's where I
Nice.
took that one from. So it's from someone's home game. So and these are the earliest ones. So they're probably things that these are some of the areas that are both worst and best researched in some sense, because I tried to do a really good job. But also a lot of this is also mapped and before I had all of it, long before Living Greyhawk, and some of it is done when From the Ashes came out almost and stuff. So it's kind of these maps have kind of evolved over time, and some things have been left there because it's been around so long that I don't dare to remove it, but it kind of should be removed or changed or something. So, and I had a bit more lax attitude to what goes on to the map, so to speak. So that's why Caustochlorinius might not have made it. Rothcore, the name of Rothcore didn't made it for many years. I added it much later, so I just put the layer symbol there. And then we have Varnifane. That you've done stuff with that, Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, haven't you? Yeah.
Talk about Pasquarel first. Pasquarel is a group of bandits. They wear cockatrice feathers.
Yeah.
They claim to the lands around here. You know, they're right on the border. If you're doing From the Ashes, Wyvernon. That's also the one where they have the Dwarven Priest of Hextor defending, and you have these all these areas which go in and out between orcish troops, bandits, and all sorts of things on this area. So it's a neat spot. Now I have it in my game. Just recently I ran an adventure. It's been a couple months. Narwhal and Pasquarel formed a non-aggression pact that Mastrine tried to waylay it. If you remember that adventure I ran. So I had a three-way fight going on at one point during that adventure. But yeah, I like the cockatrice riders. I like the anti-hero in this area. There's a lot of them. They're neutral of evil tendencies, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? So kind of in this area, I really like that. Now Mastrine is nobody's friend. Let's see the original post, Dan, if it's in From the Ashes. Let's go here.
Yeah, he's an interesting character.
It's a real interesting character, and they just threw him in there. And oh, by the way, and the From the Ashes is great because you have all these tales and whispers, which you can develop into adventures easily. Develop them into
and they
adventures.
only hint at things. They don't tell you the whole story. They're really well written.
Yeah,
in that sense.
One of the best parts of From the Ashes is that.
Yeah.
All right, so they call this the Wild Coast area, but there's Safeton, Narwhal, Karnak. We've talked there. Castle Mastrine. All right. In this, he's a 15th level neutral evil fighter, 50 men at arms, gives allegiance to no one, and there's not a lot here. Look, it's only two paragraphs.
Yeah.
Gives allegiance to no one. Patrolling militias do not approach this gloomy place. So he has a powerful hatred of humanoids, and they're all clad in black plate mail. That's how you know them. And he's got high-level priests and mages here too, and I have him. He has at least 4 daughters, and 2 of them are known to be anti-paladins. So why not? Now, you have him as a Great Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I have him as one of the ones that fled the Great Kingdom with treasure and stuff, as a way of safeguarding some of the riches from Rossi's and stuff. So he was some high official in the Ivid administration, or probably tied in with the Knight Protectors at the very end. So he was charged with safeguarding some of the relics and stuff that from the Great Kingdom, and he hide out here because it's kind of far away enough that you not be noticed, and he set up base at the edge of the Sus Forest, and I also have it that he has
heraldry.
Yep. That's his herald. I also have him that he had enough money to bribe Rothcore and bribe some of the other ones to stay away, and so he used both carrot and stick. So he bribed others to stay away, and if they don't, he brutally murders them as needed, so to speak. So that's his principle.
Pascal.
So you money to stay away, or I kill you. That's the deal he has with his neighbors, and most neighbors seems to have accepted it because he seems to stay around and he doesn't try to build an evil empire, and he also seems to hate both humanoids and the orcs down in Pomarsh and stuff. So he's against them, so to speak. So it seems to have like a non-aggression pact with most his neighbors. That seems to be the case in my campaign.
I don't have it with the Narwhal Headhunters though. They don't have.
Oh, there you go.
There's no non-aggression pact with Mistrine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is not. But so they tussle here and there, and so
it's more like in my campaign. It's more like an informal de facto. It's not like they have signed a document. It's more like they have evolved a sort of practice to not the elves and Selene forces elves and Mustrin have decided to use. I stay on this side of the river and you stay on that side of the river. Then we don't fight each other. So that's about it, so to speak. And Rothgor, the same thing. He bribes Rothgor a little bit, and then when Rothgor comes close, he tells him to stay away. So yeah.
So we continue down. There's a lot of really cool, like all these different cool keeps. A lot of them aren't in the forest, but I Bite, Zulern.
Yeah.
It's called the buffer zone here. Castle Sulafrate, Starkella Estates. There's Wyvernins in here. A lot of these are in the Slavers reference too, because of the Orcish lands. Orc Raiders. Oh, I missed. Where is it? Oh my God! Where is Varnafane? I thought it was right here. Maybe it's up north. There's Narwhal. There is Safeton. There is cities. Where's Lord Mistrine's castle? All right. Karnak, Castle Mistrine, the Wild Plains, Flandish, Eibite, Palgren, Zulern, Buffer Zone, Sulafrate, Stakara, Wyvernin. Maybe it's further south.
I don't know.
There's Pascal. Here it is. Pascarel. Yeah. During the Night of Terror. Yeah. So that talks about all the orcs that were slain in Narwhal, and they weren't slain in Pascarel. So, yep. Here's the Pascarel Cockatrice Riders, and like I said, bandits that it would be a good place to do some adventuring out of, I think. If you want to go a neutrally based campaign, I think it would be cool. In the Ashes, I would have preferred all the legions by. It would be, but then again, that's the fun part of searching on Nana's map is because there are no hexes on Nana's map now. So, yeah.
But there is a hexed version. So
there is.
Oh yeah,
so
the 12-mile hex.
Yeah.
Hexes. Yeah.
All right, I'll toot my own horn for about 2 minutes. So you have, you have Varnafane. Lying within the Walkwood, this was a treehouse settlement of some 40 rare Greyhawk, and then in came a bunch of forest bugbears who slew them all. They took up the base here, and they found that ages ago there were dwarven weapons from some long dead dwarves. Vast collection of magical battle axes, +3, but +5 in the hands of dwarves. And the bugbears took them and went out. So I created a full plot line on Varnafane going back to when this came out till today. Let me see if I can find. I have the sub. Everything's here. Oh man. 9195. I think it's under number 91. So then I created this. This is one of my last Earth Journal articles. The Legendary Axes of Varnafane. So I go over this. This is in the What If Earth Journal number. And from that, I talk about the history of this and the story arc. And when this was published, which was probably 3 years ago, this was 28 years, so it was like this has been going for 30 years, and it tells the story of 4 of the axes have been recovered, and the powers that the axes have are in the article. In 1E2E rules, so you can figure out from that what they are if you're doing 5E. But there's still 2 axes missing, and a lot of the Narwhal Headhunter characters, particular dwarves that come from Graysmere and have come from Caracast, are seeking the final 2 axes. So. That's that, and that all written up from.
That.
Thanks.
It's an alternative to your typical sword quest.
there's nothing better than a legendary axes in the hand of dwarves. So, and I have them all written up, and they're right in that article, so you can see what they do. So, Border Watch guy kind of is a good follow up. Module addresses comic news. No, there's
Border
not.
Watch. Wow.
Justinius, no, you need to get. Look in maybe Roger Moore's 2.5 will have some stuff, and maybe there's blips of it in From the Ashes, but not much on what happens. Because, and you probably want to watch Sunday night, because Roger Moore's going to explain the Crook of Ralph to us all Sunday night. What he did. All right, so we will get to that. Yep.
The follow-up to Border Watch, though, is City of Skulls.
Yeah. But that, once again...
Not a direct follow-up.
Yeah.
Because I think Border Watch is like low level and City of Skulls is high level. I think that's all there was.
And unfortunately...
Yeah.
All right, now my shout-outs aren't working.
Uh-oh.
There it goes. So we'll see Roger Moore Sunday evening. Besides that, so I have a bridge here, there, South Welkwood Bridge. That's mine. There's nothing else in Welkwood. It's pretty.
That's because Welkwood is supposed to be even more Sylvan-y and more fairy friendly than even Gnarley.
Yeah.
This is the place that the encounter chart says that there are treants and unicorns.
Yeah, it's like Gnarley is the more normal forest. Welkwood is the fey forest, and Sus is the dark fey forest kind of thing. That's how I see them. So yeah.
So this is not despoiled like the Sus is.
No, the Sus I see as the dark side of the fey, and Welkwood is the bright side of the fey. Yeah.
So look, Charles, I have in my campaign, Celine has limited control over the Welkwood.
Right.
That I have a mix of all Sylvan High and Grey Elves all live in the Welkwood. It's a mix of all of them. Yeah. I'm surprised how many humans they have there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, I saw a little bit of people talked about the hex numbering and Darlene hex system. I think one of the reasons that they didn't they used the Darlene hexes for quite a bit while until they kind of abandoned it closer to in second edition. But in first edition they used them for a while. But the problem with Darlene hexes is that they're not directly marked on the map, so you need the whole map in order to find them and go from there. And it's quite tedious way of finding them.
Tedious.
Yeah, exactly. A proper hex map have the hex numbered on the map, so you can actually find them by looking at the map. That way you can cut out the small piece and you will get the reference with them. But there are some interesting way of naming things, and that's one of the things that I'm thinking about when I'm moving to GIS. And a lot of people talk about longitude and latitude. They are also tedious and difficult because they are not intuitive per se, but there is a cool way, and that's the 3 words finding. And someone came up with the idea of basically turning the Earth into 10 feet or 3 by 3 meter squares. So and then simply each of these little squares just have 3 words that are dotted. So 3 neutral words, and by typing them in, there's so many words, and they're just neutral words, and so many words, meaning that you can find any of these little squares all around the globe. And that is an interesting way of doing it because it's easy to write, and you can also feed the GIS data into the site. So I'm thinking about, so that's one of the naming schemes I'm looking into for the future, because it's easy to reference and you can write it in text, and it's also fairly easy to remember rather than a whole bunch of little numbers and stuff that are tricky. But we'll see. So I'm just going to say there are interesting ways of thinking, and you can have hex overlays in GIS too, but then comes the problem of naming or numbering the hexes. So if you number hexes, you should do it globally. That's the problem I had when I added Hepmona Land, because in the beginning I just made Flanese hexes.
Speaking of hex overlays, I love those hex overlays that came with the Forgotten Realm gray box set.
Oh, you mean the transparent ones you put on top?
Transparency,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like they wanted to go the Greyhawk route,
Yep.
but didn't fully commit to it. Was it an
Yeah.
optional thing?
Yeah, and that's the problem. Meaning hexes are great if you just want them as a reference. The problem comes if you want them to be the same across. So you mean that this hex always cover the same. So if you want them for more than measurement, if you want them for reference as well as measurement, then the hex need to be persistent in one spot, and then that method of transparent overlay doesn't work. So this is one of the topics I'm thinking of how to solve, and there's no one simple easy solution, because I love hexes for hex scrolls, but then they need to be used for reference, and then you have the different sizes, and yeah, there's all sorts of
Speaking of
issues.
hex crawls, we'll get to that on the next forest.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Here's two good whispers in here. First one, 3 druids south of Narwhal recently headed for the walkway, accompanied by a great number of tigers, nearly a dozen. The great cats wore brass banding on their forelimbs and collars with gem pendants. It is a Druidic water band, but what do they seek? I kind of like that one. And this one is cool too. Within the walkway beside the Jewels East Bank, a group of Vodkin have been seen forming a tight defensive circle, excluding any forest travelers from an area a mile or so across. They're clearly guarding and waiting. So, they said to arrive at their current position a week after a violent storm's lightning felled many trees, and the rivers churned with great violence. Some say a monstrous river eel, scores long, emerged and laid waste to land and to giant cliffs to it. What are they guarding? Who are they waiting for? Completely unknown. Left for you to develop. So some cool things. Cool things here that are just, you can do whatever you want with them. So I don't think this goes down to this sus, if I recall. If I recall, the sus is not part of this.
No.
We have to go to the Slaver's reference.
Yeah.
Yep.
My sus information is probably
yeah, I gotta go to
the basic books.
Yeah, and then also should be some in here too.
And Rock Adventures.
And Greyhawk Adventures too. Yep. Let me pop that up too, just so in case we need it. I got it right here. I'm prepared for that. Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Next, as we go further down. Yeah, I didn't think so, Grendel Skull. Because you got to remember, those were made, Whelm especially, it's made well before From the Ashes when Varnafane was created. So, yeah. All right, so we've gone, and now it's time to do the bad area. The sus is got lots of nasties. I take because of it's where it is. I take my Altamira people all the time through here, right, on adventures. As you can see, it's like Joe River running down. This is where the Atraca. It's moved slightly a couple times, right, Anna? Where you put Atraca.
Oh yeah.
Soul Temple ruins. This is
I'm not sure where that name comes from. Atraca. I know I added it later.
No, it's not listed in the Gourd books.
I don't think it's mentioned in the Gourd book. I think it's only the old Sewell something there. So yeah.
Once again, when you come down here, there's not a lot of reference, except this place. I want to see who knows what this is and where it comes from. Anyone?
Anyone.
That is a Dungeon adventure, if I remember correctly. Yep.
In fact,
no.
Dungeon 13.
Oh, yep. I remember we talked about it when we went through the Dungeon adventures.
In fact, are you ready? Let's do it now.
Okay.
Tomorrow night, guess what? Jay's gonna run it edited a little bit because I feel like it, and because it fit, and because my Strainkeep Castle / Wolfmaster Keep it fits perfectly to be used for the ruins of Noldair. And I did feel it. So, and my guys, I made it a little higher level than it's supposed to be 5th or 8th. Made it a little higher level. Made some minor changes to it. I ran this adventure number 138 I'm going to run it for number 994 now too. So that was that long ago. So there you go. Run the note roll there. Yep. Good night. See you, LJ. Have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, good night.
See you tomorrow. All right. Just so you're aware, great adventure. I will be running it coming up. But once again, there's not a lot of detail here in the SUS. As we come down, another, Rich is going to argue, but we'll get to that afterwards. Yeah, something else. So, Mike, what do you got in the SUS? What do you want to discuss?
The only thing really in the SUS worth talking about is the lost city of the Sewell.
Right. And what reference do you pull it out of?
That is a good question. There is actually a mysterious place article that Creighton Broadhurst and Paul Luby wrote during the Living Greyhawk era that you might be able to find still on the internet, like Wayback Machine. They wrote a long history of that.
Do you have it?
Somewhere on my computer, I probably have that. But like I said, if you want a copy of it, you're probably gonna have to do an internet search.
And Rex Sells just said there's a cannon fire thread on the Trachea speculating you took the name from your own campaign.
No, I definitely didn't do it from my own campaign. No, because I'd never been there.
Okay, that's interesting, Rex Sells, that's incorrect, but an interesting observation.
I know I got it from somewhere, and I can search for it and see here.
So also, if I go to
so I ran a hex crawl a while back in the Sus Forest, where I had my players searching for the lost city of the Sewell.
Nice. I know there's some
Trachea is actually in a Living Greyhawk adventure called Bones of Contention.
Whoops.
So it's definitely
it's
in the Living Greyhawk. Yeah, might be earlier than that though, but it was used in Living Greyhawk, which means that it definitely, I was right, is not from my campaign.
Here's Dungeon Meister has a really cool picture, ambush in the Sus Forest. So
there's a place called Troll Creek and stuff there. So
there you go.
That one has. I'm going to add.
Where's Troll Creek?
It's near Trachea. There's a lot of small places.
It's there. You have that on there.
Yeah, I took it from that map. Yep, Troll Creek. Yep. That's bigger than the creek, but we'll see. I have to kind of
that is
it a little bit.
So this area here is from Pitcher to Ulick, so it's really close, and it's hard to find information. So it is lost exactly. So it is not far from civilization, which is really interesting when you think about it. It's not in the middle of the Sus, right? It's according to this map, Anna's map. Which is interesting. Now, we're porting over a bunch of stuff to the Twilight Forest and Aird, so it's going to have the same mysteries. Note that in the campaign, I have the Sun's minions are all throughout the Sus Forest now, and there, so we got a lot of that going on. And also, we always have humanoid armies roaming through the Sus steppes to raid into Selene and other. And also coming up and raiding into the Wild Coast.
Yeah, it's definitely crossroads for the evil attacking.
Yes, well, it's not moving. It's staying right here. Because it says specifically in the adventure that it's there in the Sus. So note that. There's a line where it says, and one of the captives who was captured in the forest, the Sus, a merchant or whatever. So exactly. Well, it is, and we have stuff going on there. We have a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, in this whole area running down. Like this connects to the area that is in Pitcher to Ulick, and that was the whole point of one of the points we had for it, running down the Pitcher's Road down to Thunderstrike. Right. That's the trade route that should be here from Carwood, which Carwood Mike found is in Selene. We know that now, right? Mike was the verification on that. And
I don't even remember where I found that.
Yeah, you did though. You did. And you have a lot. If we go to the eastern part of the Sus, which goes all the way out to the waterway, you have the Sus Road, and you have all these clans that Anna's put on the map, all within the Sus here.
A lot of them from Joe Block's article
Yep.
and some other information here and
Which
there.
is here.
Yeah.
I have that. Which is this, right?
And
Which describes a lot of that stuff going
Yeah.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I have any other southern. See, this map helps here. Oh no, I can just go to this. So yeah, and you have got it. See you, Phoenixy. Have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging. Excuse
the
me.
coolest thing about the Sus Forest is the encounter charts for it.
Yep.
And the critters you can find there.
Which are they in the discography?
Yeah.
Give us some.
But amongst them, gibberlings, ettercaps, the susurrus, which I'm guessing is named for the Sus Forest.
Yep.
Maybe.
And that's all.
Yeah,
that's all. Fiend Folio and Monster Manual 2 monsters.
Yeah. A lot of nastiest things out of the Fiend Folio.
Yep. Why were there so many Soul there? Well, you got to remember, in the migrations, the Soul started occupying a lot of places. So my guess is some of them, and there's rumored to be albino Sus still, albino Souls in the Sus still, right? Doing their things, and we've come across them multiple times.
Well, according to the write-up that Luby and Broadhurst did, the Lost City of the Soul was actually a fantastic city that was impressive even to the elves. Now, how it fell, I don't really recall off the top of my head, but I'm sure the Sus then swallowed it and pulled it down or something.
Yeah, it probably
I don't know.
Sunk just like Doggerland or something, or,
Yeah.
Seriously, and then it's all all gone.
There was probably a power mage there who blew everything up again. So that's what power mages do.
But I have a multitude of the Soul Liches from that special Lich coming out of this area, and I brought multiple groups, including some of the special groups against Soul Liches. We can bury the Fey realm. That's a good point, Rich. If you're talking about Fey, definitely a good
would
tap
the Soul even want to know about the Fey?
Yeah.
Would they even understand it?
Yeah, the Fey is something that didn't come. It's not developed well enough in Greyhawk. I've started to do way more with Fey than it's in. And in 4th edition is where the Fey realm kind of started to come of age. I don't really like the full write-up, but I like the idea that they really started to develop and use the Fey realm as a place of itself, so to speak. And so I have it as the Fey and the Plane of Shadow is a transitory tract from the higher planes to the lower planes, and you can use, instead of the astral, you can go the Fey way to get to the outer planes too. So it's another way of going about in the multiverse. And the Welkwood and the Sus and even up in the Gnarley has a lot of Fey connections. The whole scale, so to speak, from light to dark Fey.
And the Fey is a really good connection to a lot of 5e players, right? A lot of them love all that stuff.
Yeah, they kept it from 4th edition into 5th edition. They kept the Fey realm, which is really cool. Yeah.
Wild Magic too. That's a great idea, Rich. Now, I'll say this little tidbit. Eric Mengi and Jose Ortiz are working on cleansed of Greyhawk Fey material to put out. So that's coming. It'll be exciting. Some stories, if you know about for Sus that I've done. If you know about Candlekeep Mysteries, and I know Casey said that, I had placed the Xanthoria plague starting right here. Started in the Sus, went through, and that's the last adventure in Candlekeep Mysteries. It's a Zugdamori priestess, crazed druid type, fits perfectly into Greyhawk. So and kind of decimated Selene and a lot of Altamira. So that was placed right there where the Xandoria plague was. Anna and I have Hidden Temple of the Ruthnal right here.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
It's
Yeah,
a second
I'm so glad you
edition.
found that special adventure.
Yeah, I mean, we were
Mhm.
searching for it before I was live streaming. That's how old that goes to.
Yeah.
Was in that era of Alan Grohe gave us the first copy. Then I got the original. I found the original, so it's a cool adventure. Vortex number 8, if you can find it, and it's dungeon crawl. I believe the name of the mountain range in the Pomage is a soul word. Draken's Grab, or which one? Which one? Drakenkopf. Okay. Well, that's all right. Very cool. Yep. So may have been referred to. So, lots of speculation on how you can develop your soul in the area and have ancient soul here. I have stuff like skulks with these albino souls in here. All sorts of really nasty stuff. They seem to have the power over shambling mounds and all sorts of other abominations. You know,
You can put tons of interesting stuff. You can the sus is something you can really use all sorts of nasty stuff living in there.
Carnivorous plants.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep.
That's sentient trees.
Yep.
Larinican.
Yep.
The evil treants.
Yep.
Corrupted treants are good in here too. So it's
not boy cults, all sorts of nasty stuff.
Think about the area of square miles of dark, deep forest to get lost in here. I mean, it is boggy, swampy, dangerous, no roads, which is perfect. Right near civilization, right near some at least, and then connected to Pomage, and the humanoids used it to their advantage. And I don't recall.
Might very well be one of the worst places to go through. That would be a worse trip than through the middle of Ayus, which is just a barren plain. Really.
I agree. I agree. And Mike, and I see where I see Vesvi to Mirkwood connections. I don't know what connection I'd see to Sus into a Middle Earth tree. It could be just like that the bad spot of the old forest. That small area, which is way smaller than the Sus would be.
What is that? The swamp of despair or something?
Oh, the pit of this, yeah, the swamp, yeah, the fire swamp, and
well, there's a fire swamp. I mean the what's the swamp from?
Oh, the Gladden Fields.
Never-ending story. Never-ending story.
Oh, the never-ending story.
Yeah. You're going through the middle of that thing, and it's just going to eat up your horse.
Rich, I agree 100%. It's perfect, and I've used that idea. And usually there's a soul lich behind it all because they just don't die. And they absorb. And remember, the soul liches take the 4 other bodies, so they live a lot longer than regular liches.
Now, why don't they just take like living bodies then?
Yeah, they have to inhabit. They burn out their bodies.
So they do take fresh bodies that they burn out.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, and Lavelle, thank you. I love it. I wonder who created the Soul Lich. I know it's in a side reference book.
Soul Lich.
Yeah, it's in one of the compendiums for 2nd edition. That's where let me see if I have it on my machine here. I may have it as a photocopy.
Probably Carl started.
Really?
I'm guessing. Swamp of Sadness. Ardell Snow. Yep.
I have the picture of it. That's from the article on it, and I have it printed. It's probably in my I put it in my compendium book.
Cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah, Swamp of Sadness. Soul flesh crafters. It really scares players knowing the soul, like their eyes, the one that harvests that. That is disturbing, Rich. Yes, I would agree. That's pretty above and beyond the. Yeah, that's. So, like I said, the nastiest spot in all of these forests we discussed has the least about it, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it's the coolest. I think it has some of the biggest. Both Wildwood and Sus Forest has huge potential to develop into
Yeah, definitely.
something cool. And I've
I
tried
would
to.
plop a dragon down in Lost City.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's a good idea. Absolutely. Um, and this doesn't have to be the only lost city. There can be multiples. You're absolutely correct. Whoever said that in chat, there can be multiple lost cities for this. I mean, the area is so vast. Uh, like I said, and this you could say this area here is more occupied. Humanoids, the humanoids even aren't living out here. Think about that. Yes, I don't remember what event, which one that was, Rich. So, you got a really cool forest area that runs all the way. Think about how many thousand. It's a long way. Lots and lots, all the way up past. We're talking about past the area of, and you got Temple the Evil technically is in this gnarly forest area, right? Nulb, the Moat House, all part of it. A lot of Verberbonk areas north of the Velvet Diver River, almost to Greyhawk City. You think about it, and then just running the entire length, so it's a cool area to develop.
It does have its fingers spread out in a lot of places. I like it. It's not one big monolithic forest
Well, the good thing is also
that
you
you
can
have to
always
go
watch it.
around.
You can watch it again on Twitch or YouTube. So, Bad Wall's known for its honey. Is that true? I don't know about that.
Maybe, yeah. Wilderness areas. Probably.
B4 fits nicely in the sus. Is that Horror in the Hill? Or is that Palace of the Silver Princess? I get them confused. B4. Hey.
Lost
Chad, thanks, man.
City.
I'm losing my voice. It's going. It's Lost City. Okay, cool. Absolutely. Absolutely fits here. I was trying to work Horror in the Hill up in this area, and I just didn't. It didn't feel right, so I didn't do it. There's also oh, by the way, I ran it. There's a small halfling adventure right with the boar that pig that right out that takes place right in this area too, and I forget the name of it. I just ran it. Oh man, it's gonna drive me crazy. Here, let me go to and it's in dungeon. Let me go to adventure log. I do have
I nearly finished Horror on the Hill, by the way.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's a good one. I enjoy it.
Definitely. Let me see if I can go down here and see what number it was. It was not that long ago. All right, so number 976 was Vengeance of the Fungal Queen. That was Xanthoria. All right. Swarms, Reckless, Standoff, and I'm looking for Gnarl Headhunters. Must have been. Yep. When I try and find something, I can't in my list. Here it is. Legends of Gartholga. That's it. The Legend of Gartholga. That is in Dungeon Magazine, and that's in the northern. That's on the right up here in the northern Wild Coast, southern Gnarly Forest area.
Did not
It's a
know
first,
that.
second level adventure. Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, it's got triplets, 3 triplet halflings in it. Yep. I just ran it. That's long ago. What's up, Falmoku?
Hello.
Beowulf does has great heraldry because it's on the front cover, right? I thought, is that Beowulf or Fax? Which is the one on the original cover?
We don't know. Fax is one of them, but the other ones I just guessed a little bit. So I took artistic license and used them and placed them. So I put in.
It's all good.
I put in. Hang on a second. I assigned them to Cantona and Highport. I think, because somewhere I think I wrote someone thought that, oh, they're probably from some cities, settlements in the Wild Coast, so I kind of went with it.
Yep. So, do I have blue? Yeah. Oh, so if you remember, over the holidays, I ran 2 Lighthouse Adventures. Blue Bay,
Hmm.
that's Patrick K. Ancient Gamers. There's 2 lighthouses there. I ran those 2 adventures
Yeah.
when we had the Gamescape 3D Kickstarter for Lighthouse, and we highlighted that and placed that right there on the map. So is this a Carlos adventure? I forget. Cars.
No, Morro Point is from Carlos.
Oh, Morro Point is from the Island
Yeah,
of Dr. Moreau.
maybe
That's it.
that
You
little
added that.
village out there too, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure. But Morro Point is from one of
Yeah.
the slavers. Marquesa is one of the Marquesa.
Right.
Marquesa must die, or yeah, it's one of the Marquesa adventures.
Cool. Yep.
I played it at a GaryCon back in the day. Yep.
Yep. Like pre-COVID.
Yeah, that was pre-COVID. Yep. Was my first or my second Gen Con, GaryCon. I can't forget. Can't remember which, but it was great.
So note one thing I'll say with the Sus. You got problems in the southern Sus, right? Or if you look posts here, right? Southern Sus, Temple of Earthnol coming across. You got problems in the western Sus, probably deeper. Sewell, right? Ancient Sewell, that you can place almost anywhere here. And then you also have, like I said, this area of that was Patriots Ulick running up to Altamira. Sus runs all the way up here to harass Celine. So you can have at it with all sorts of monsters. You can create almost anything in here. Like you said, I also had that Xanthoria Plague. Check out the adventure. It's the 16th at the highest level one in Candlekeep Mysteries. I ran it for 2 reasons. Silkdemoy and Tony Runzer Brill wrote it, which made it even better. City Cars, not a Chaosium source book. Huh. I think it may be Patrick and I irony on that. So, Soul Dogs and Sus, the Sue Dog from Carlos Slay's Hounds of Earth magazine. Ooh, cool.
Aha.
Oh,
See? Awesome. Don't.
we'll have to get that the Carlos Hounds. Yeah.
Did you get the ticket, Mike? Did you
No.
Go? Oh, okay.
No, I paid it online before
All
I
right.
could get some.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's part of Chaosium or it just happens to be an irony there. It's very possible. So, all right, Mike and Anna, we're at a quarter of. What do you have in closing for this discussion tonight? And any other questions from the audience?
The only thing I have in closing is Greyhawk Adventures. There's the Rod of Welkwood,
Yes.
which is
Whoops.
kind of a it's a
Let me go there.
it's an oaken branch that has a few druidic powers. So pretty simple.
Isn't there something of the Swiss Forest too? Purple gem? Or is that of the
No,
Pomars? That's the Pomars, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think that's the only item. There was no gnarly items, I don't believe.
It's wands and rods, right? It's not miscellaneous.
I think just wouldn't have sounded right. You know, it's like, hey, the gnarly axe. Yes, that's a gnarly axe you got there.
Staff of Hornwood, Nat Marsh, Rod of Onwall, Rod of Walkwood. There it is.
Good question, Zudrak. The Welk does seem to evoke that.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't know. You know, we'll ask Rob Kuntz next time he's on.
It's catchy. I like it.
Yeah, it's very possible someone loved Lawrence Welk. You're very. You never know. You never know.
There's always music playing in the Welkwood.
Yep. So this.
Soothing.
So I think C means druids here too. The item was created by druids serving the woodsmen who inhabit this forest. It can be used as a shillelagh, and if charges are expended, a druid can be. You can do Wall of Thorns. Holy jeez. And it can be recharged, this rod, so that's pretty powerful.
Sounds like a good one to dish out.
Yep. Nice that it's listed. There's nothing of the sus in here. I thought there was one sus item. Am I wrong?
I couldn't find anything.
I'm thinking of the Pomars, the one where you summon all the humanoids, right?
Yeah, there's the
Yeah,
purple gem is the Vesvi.
that's the Vesvi.
But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
you're
I
right.
think that it summons like an army of elves. And then the Palmer's one I think summons humanoids.
Yeah, there's purple gem in the Vespi.
Yeah.
There is nothing to sus. That's weird. I thought there was, but
Yeah.
there's
You
not.
think there would be something, but
Yeah, very cool.
hard case.
Haunted by both. Yes, exactly. So,
Yeah.
Anna, what do you got in closing here?
I must say that it's one of these areas that I think are really that they should be used more. The Gnarly, I think it's set a good standard for how to develop a forest, and
Yep.
the Welkwood and the Sus are ripe for development. You can really do cool stuff with it, and Elvendom and humanoids and perfect adventure locations. So I would love to see more kind of cool fan content created for those two places, and more Elvendom and more humanoids, and also Fae, meaning come on, Fae is among the coolest thing in fantasy. So I want more of it in my Greyhawk. We
Thanks
need to
for.
have Eric Mengi talk more about Fae again. We need to have
He's
such
gonna.
a
They're gonna
fun.
come on when they're ready.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
they're gonna come on definitely
Yep.
when they're ready.
So
Absolutely.
so yeah, so it's something I would my next
Thanks,
campaign will
Patrick.
probably be set in the area, and it will be part of an Elven campaign. I really want to go back to Elvendom, and I have some new ideas and develop Elvendom more, and the Welkwood and the Sus will definitely play a big part in it.
Don't you have to kill off all your Shieldlanders first, though?
Oh yeah, I need to. I'm working on it. So yeah. Yep. But that will take another 6 months or a year. But my plan, my campaign's 3-4 years in advance. So I need to develop an area. So I'm doing basic lore and stuff like that at the moment, concepts and ideas, and just jot down ideas, and then I start developing them in a year or two.
Awesome. So I hope you all enjoyed this discussion.
Yeah.
Coming off of Greyhawk, Gary Kahn. Um, by the way, Troy. I have some good news for you if you're still there watching, listening. So I got real good news for you. You'll see in a second. Um, and then we'll figure out what we're doing next week. Getting back into the swing of things here. Lots of guests coming. Working on a ton of no vampire thermal bash. No,
And
no,
Rich, that's awesome. Yep.
yes, not happening. So we'll do some quickie shout outs and then we'll see what's going on the rest of the week and then we'll raid into someone. I'm 50-50 between Mandy and Stella. I gotta figure out which one. So I know Bash is gonna say Mandy. So we may do Mandy. Mike, what's going on in your world? Now that you're back. Did you have a good time at GraryCon, everything?
Oh yeah, I did everything I came there to do, and then some, which is always great.
Yeah.
I put my recap on Greyhawkery, so there's your link. Go read about
Nice.
what I did. I could have done a lot more. I mean, we leave halfway through Saturday, which kind of leaves out some opportunities, and we don't show up early, so we're just too cool for school, I guess. But, we're hoping to. I'm hoping to bring even more of my friends next year. It's kind of catching on. And I was looking at all my badges today, side by side, and that was the 5th Gary Con I went to.
Nice.
Apparently,
Oh, there you go.
yeah.
Come on.
So
With
then
the
I guess it's my 5th too. Then
yeah, it was
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, because I think I've been to all. You've been to all the conventions I've been to, and
Yeah.
I might have missed one, but I think yeah. So this was probably my 5th then. Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
cosplay tournament, you can get Brandy to go too.
Maybe.
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean that's a huge thing. They said it was hugely successful this year.
Yes, I think it was the biggest one they've ever had.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, by
so,
a few people. So
yeah, that was great.
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. That's a great synopsis, Mike. I really appreciate you doing that on Greyhawkery. Wow, lots of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of big So
I'm sure I left out a lot of stories, but that's all the high points.
Yeah, but you got some good stuff in there,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So awesome to see. I appreciate it, and we'll figure out a topic for next week. Obviously,
Right.
yes.
We'll have to,
Yeah.
we've used up all the areas I thought of.
Yes, so far, and but there's some other we can go through, and we can.
Mhm.
We need. You know what we need to do? We need to do a My Greyhawk. So we got to
That
figure out who
yes,
we
we
want to. We've
definitely
already
do
had
need to
Rich
do
and
it.
then Dale. Who do
Yep.
we need to do
Mhm.
next?
What was
Yep.
that topic that someone brought up in the Legends of the Lore panel we did? Remember me saying that would have made a good topic? Someone asked a question in the audience.
Yeah. What was
I
that?
should have wrote it down.
It's
Yeah, but you
recorded.
can go back and watch the
We can figure it out.
recording.
It's recorded. We
Yeah.
can actually
Yeah.
figure that one out.
Yep.
But I
So
still would like to do that topic, whatever that topic was.
Yes. So we go back and watch it, and then
yeah,
we can see
try
if we
and
can
figure
do
out what
that.
it
Yep.
is. That shouldn't be a problem. So Anna, what's going on with you?
Well, I'm writing up the stuff that I talked about in my 2-hour seminar. I'm going to put that on my Patreon and on my website, my blog, in piecemeal. So I did just the first very quick little recap because I was tired yesterday when I posted it. But there will be the role of maps in role-playing game, because I talked about that for like 20-30 minutes or 20 minutes something on in my seminar. So that will be the first one, and then I'll go into bit by bit, so to speak, and cover it. So there will be a little bit talk about the Earth 2.0, etc., and so on and so forth. So that will be posted every other day or so for the next week, probably. And then I will start digging into other more meatier topics, and there will be more about my Shieldlands campaign. There will be some more IUCN monsters coming and stuff, but there will be probably no Scottish. No, unfortunately, I didn't record my seminar. I didn't have equipment for it, so to
I
speak.
couldn't.
So
I was
yeah,
running around like a
but I
nut.
have all the
Yeah.
slides and my talking points, so I will elaborate on them. So over time there will be no. So hopefully I can get all the points in blog form, so to speak. And there will be no mapping live stream this Friday, unfortunately. Linda Booth can't, because he's going to see the D&D movie, and I'm probably going to see the D&D movie on Friday, maybe on Saturday, and we have some family stuff because I ran away on my birthday, so now I have to suffer another birthday party or something on Friday or Saturday. So we'll see. So we'll skip the mapping live stream this week, and we will be back next week. Maybe have 2 instead. We're thinking about it, so we'll see. Yeah. So that's roughly, but we will. But we are looking for having a game on Sunday, and we'll stream that. That's the plan. But since it's our home game, it might be canceled. But hopefully, it will be up and running on Sunday before Gavin. So that's about it for now. Yep.
You can tell we're all in a funk still. From
yeah, we are a little bit mushy brained after it's
COVID.
Someone said it's a convention hangover, and I definitely feel the Conqueror and convention hangover a bit.
Alan, one of my players, is the one from '78, Angus McCracken. During last year's fundraiser, Anna's character Imri, first time she ever died, and Angus got killed by the purple dragon.
Yep.
In that, and Troy was, the half dragon person I put in as the joke, and Troy's had it out for Angus McCracken, so he got more opportunities tomorrow night and the week after to go after it. So I'm running. I changed the name slightly just so because I made edits to it. It's not, the original. It's called Ruins at Noldare instead of Ruins of Noldare. Made it slightly just to know that I'm making some changes for my campaign, and also the keep I have up. Everyone knows what that one is, and so that's funny. It's very funny. So that's tomorrow night, and that'll be multi-weeks, at least 2, as we're running up to adventure number 1,000. Talk about that in a second. We're at 994, so getting there. Sunday night, Roger Moore returns. The first of the post-Gary Kahn interviews. We had Roger Moore last year, about a month and a half, 2 months afterwards. But we have Roger Moore on this Sunday. He was excited. And I said, let's do more specific topics. He said, well, I wish I knew more about Greyhawk. I said, you wrote a book a 2.5 book, right? Greyhawk Adventure Begins and Return of the 8. He goes, oh, yeah, that's right. So we got a lot to discuss. Return of the 8 is on my wall of fame, and it's a great adventure, and we'll go over it in detail. Plus some other things and questions you want to throw out to Roger. Plus Luke Gygax will be hopping on at some point. He'll be hopping on as well, so we'll have a fun one, and that'll kill off the week, the normal 3-stream week for me. And I got to start scheduling out my special games for this month of April coming up, and that'll be that. So 994 is coming. And with that, Adventure 1000, the date we believe, look for Saturday, June 3rd. Yeah, right beside that now. That's funny. I'm never running that. Troy, never. We believe Saturday, June 3rd will be the 1000th adventure. It'll be a legendary adventure on my wall of fame, and we're just going to run it all day. It's starting in the morning, just like you did when we were in high school, college days, single. And that's Saturday, June 3rd. Bill's working up all the minis for it, and got a lot of that going. Yeah. The children are going to get enough. I don't need to run Return to TEE for the children to get money. I'll run other fun stuff in a 4-hour period. So, last call. I got a lot of new stuff from Patrick. So I got plenty of treasures of Greyhawk, country sites, Shady Dragon Inn, Ghost Tower. Still got an Endless Stare, Showcanth against the Giants. Got a lot of good stuff here for you to win. So, and we will go from there. So. Alrighty, here we go. Let's see who wins this. Last call for signups. One winner tonight. Tomorrow night's Infinite Dimension Games. I have some $25. I think I have a 50 as well. Going to give away some gift certificates to Infinite Dimension Games, STL files, and maybe a Reaper miniature too if you don't have a 3D printer. We'll do that tomorrow night. As I said, we got a lot going on here. By the way, Troller Game says he's going to be giving away stuff every hour upon the hour during my 1000th adventure, so I'm holding Chuck to that. If you saw the show Sunday night, Sir Andrew's says he's running his Expedition to Barrier Peaks at Virtual GrowdCon, so that'll be awesome. Did anyone try to walk out with any of the modules you showed? No, they did not. So I gave away most of my swag because it was too much. I couldn't carry it. So yeah, good night. So I kept my event guide. Kept that. These are mine, right? Thanks. Devil's Dung Lighthouse. I bought the following stuff. By the way, we showed this, Arma Qualish and Isle of Dread. And the Dewey Carthix and Anna's, right? Anna's Drawing Board 2023. I also, here's my hools. I showed that too. But I need Tower of Blood. Alan was out of them when I went there on Sunday. But I did buy Bottle City. Okay, Kuntz. I did buy Beyond the Living Room, another Kuntz adventure. And then I also got... These are lower level Withered Crag and Hyquist vaults. Right, I got those as well. I bought them all from Alan Growy. I also bought, and he will be coming on the show, I bought a Diesel print that I didn't have. And Diesel will be coming on the show in the near future. So a lot of good stuff coming up. Yep. So everyone was respectful of the content and every time we showed it. Troy, no issues. Right, Anna?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Had no issues with that. Yep. So, yep. All right. Yeah, and lots of good. And also gave away an adventure card. I don't know where the heck that is or where that got to, but if you were there, I made first one teaser, Free City of Altamira adventure card, a call for immediate assistance with the terrain. and the adventure back here, and it's basically a teaser for the Troller Games box set. And that was we did not stream that, and that was a very good little mini seminar we had at the Shop House. That was one of the 3 things I didn't stream. So there you go. All right, let's do the giveaway. Here we go. The winner tonight. Thank you all for the support. My voice is gone, so I may have to let my players talk more tomorrow. Oh no. I'm LJ. I'm picking another one. LJ's off and she's in the UK. I'm picking it. She's winning all the time. We're gonna pick another one. It's a casualty because you said Gratch. You got it. It's a casualty. You're the winner. So there you go. Yep. I'll tell LJ.
Nice.
I owe her something else anyway. So don't worry about that. I'll take care of that. It's a casualty. You have anything specific you want? You let me know. Do you have treasures still? I have Country Sites, Ghost Tower, Shokanth, G1 through 3, Needle, Eye of Doom. I got some good stuff. So get with me, please. Yeah. If you don't have treasures yet, I'll give you treasures because I have 3 of them, and they tend to be the main one. Your pick. Treasures and how's Ghost Tower? Treasures and Ghost Tower. How's that sound?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Sound good? Awesome. Easy enough. We're going to rain into Mandy tonight. She was at GaryCon and worked hard. Really hard.
Mandy.
So, yeah. Anyone hear of the status of the Earth Journal while at GaryCon? Yes.
Status.
Yes. That's all I can say. We did hear of the status.
Yep.
D Mandy. Yes.
D Mandy. Yeah,
Yes.
very important
Did
with
not
D
ask.
Mandy. It's
We
not
will
any
let,
Mandy.
thank you. We will let Roger Moore, because Roger Moore has an article for it, talk about that Sunday night. How's that sound? Fair enough? Thank you. Jay has not hit many wrong buttons tonight, but I may do that here,
Yeah.
and we'll see you all. See you all tomorrow night, 7:30, and see you Sunday night. Have a good one.
Bye, guys.
Troy, that's all I can say. It's not my place to say anything beyond that. So, I'm doing my best to be Mr. Diplomat. I know that Roger Moore has an article he's waiting on getting out. So, yep. Awesome. Nice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night. Have a good one. Make sure this went through.
Yep, big 17.